Graham, how do you feel about people aged at 37?
Why are they not 38 already? Come on, hurry up.
That's a very acceptable vanilla answer.
That's almost exactly the answer I was expecting him to give.
I don't know what else he could have given. I don't know where you can go from there. But I guess part of me wanted more. What's your take on people who are aged 37? I think that everyone aged 37 is a fucking whore. What? No.
Yeah.
Can we strike that from the record?
No.
Everyone aged 37 is a whore.
37 is everyone's slut year.
This is my slut era.
Oh God! Now I know what I have to look forward to in 10 years.
I think 37 is
Hell yeah, slut eras.
It's gonna be the only year where I'm not in my slut era.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty slut at the moment. I think
when we're doing these yearlies in 10 years, we're gonna just have the one very.
Oh my God!
The ghost of Christmas future.
We're gonna have a very
laughing at
this year.
Voice chat.
Oh, there he is.
69.
There he is. I don't think he looks that much like Graham, but like he's got the name and the age.
He doesn't look like Graham because he's 69, but 40 years from now, you look out.
69.
I don't know. None of like the men in my family have like gone balding.
Lucky you.
Yeah, which I can't say for Christian.
Yeah, as you know, I am completely bald.
I'm not
Graham
balding.
I think you're going to grow that mustache.
Oh, are we talking about growing mustaches? Because I have a mustache.
Nice.
Technically, a mustache is just connected to a beard.
I look like Adam Driver's brother who prefers potatoes.
I'm gonna have. I just had sex and now I'm gonna eat nachos.
I look like Taylor.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to talk about hair stuff. Remember that time Mick came to Du Bois, Take Manhattan, cosplaying as a member of the Three Musketeers?
Oh yeah, because that was like the first time I think any of us had seen Mick with a beard. So it like
not with a beard.
Oh, with the mustache.
mustache.
Yeah,
with the mustache.
specifically that mustache.
Yeah.
You need to be careful when you use the word cosplay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I literally just had a what's the name for the hair? Like a Van Dyke beard.
Yeah.
And mustache.
Oh.
No, you do. You were going through a phase. You did what my cousin does every Thanksgiving. Every other Thanksgiving, he shaves his mustache. So one year he'll have an exotic set of facial hair, and then the next year it's all gone. And like it's always in such a way that you don't remember if the year before he had the beard or didn't.
Yeah. But again, I should clarify. It wasn't like a proper Van Dyke either. No, it was whatever the hell Johnny Depp does, where it's like almost that, but not quite. What?
What?
Nothing.
I heard Hitman.
You said whatever the hell Johnny Depp does.
I did not hear Hitman.
I assume it was a dab of Johnny Depp, which I'm all for.
Dabbing.
It was. Yeah.
I love dabbing.
Johnny
No,
Depp.
you do. It's something we had to talk about.
Wait, did you say jab or dab?
I meant to say jab, but dab came out.
Okay.
All right, I don't mean to be a bother, but we probably should get started with our.
I think Graham needs to stop dabbing first.
I will record this whole episode while dabbing.
It won't be on the.
Yeah, it's literally not on the recording.
The energy will
We're
carry
the only
through.
people who are going to know that you have your hands elevated in the dab position for 4 hours.
I also love the fact because he's slightly muffled because his hand is in his arm.
I think Graham should
Fuck
start.
it. Solidarity.
I think either Graham or Mick should start with their years of 2020 in review.
I think that they should both turn off their cameras and we should start.
I think that the 2020 Yearlies is sponsored by.
Okay. I'm not turning off my camera.
Why not?
Why?
There's no reason not to keep it on.
He's taking a stand. He's taking a stand.
Graham, if you keep your camera on, I'm only going to stare at the top left corner of my computer the entire night, and it's going to do damage to my eyes.
That sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, my eyes are going to be...
I'm sorry I'm so beautiful, Taylor.
You never have to apologize for that. The 2020 Yearlies are brought to you by Graham's camera. It's not going off any fucking time soon, so y'all best deal with it.
I gotta say, looking through Graham's room is kind of wild to look through because it's like, yeah, he's got like a Gator Crossing sign. He's got a Beatles clock. He's got TD Bank merch.
He always looks like he lives in the attic, but he probably doesn't.
I mean, I am on the top floor, but
Take some screen caps of Graham's room for the editing. Hold on. Or Jordan, can you take screen caps of Graham's room?
No, Christian, it's okay. We're gonna put it in a crudely drawn, like crayon drawing of what we perceive Graham's room to be.
Yeah.
All right, Jordan, have fun with that.
Hang on.
The next Graham's room.
Honey, get a picture of me in Graham's room.
There's gonna be a point like where we have like our own convention, and one of like there'll be a photo in front of Graham's room.
And there'll be like a cardboard cutout of Graham with like automated messages that play.
It'll be the red and blue motherfucker.
Y'all enjoying the Yearlies?
We should probably get started, but I imagine everyone has to laugh this out first.
Oh, and welcome to the Yearlies. Okay, let's do this.
Bitch.
I know, but I like doing it.
I know, that's why I do it.
I know. You can edit mine out.
I
just wanted to say it.
I'm gonna keep yours in because it was a really good one. Okay.
Right.
I already did my intro and my.
All right, guys. Christian wants us to start.
In case I did another one for the. Hello and welcome to the Yearlies.
Be sure to wipe.
2020. Which part?
Oh no!
I'm gonna wipe my fucking frontal lobe.
2020. 2020 sucked, but there were a lot of great games.
Yeah, can we not do the year in review for 2020?
I'm gonna do the year in review for 2020.
Yeah, but we can do whatever the hell you want. If you guys want to just talk about how the year relates to your game playing and your honorable mentions, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, 2020 sucked, and I hate going through it. But like, there were game things, so I get it.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first in this bit?
I'll do it because I'll be quick.
Yeah.
Among Us.
Okay. Oh, fuck off.
Among Us.
I can't mention anything else because like all the other games I played that came out this year are in the thing. So.
What a year.
What a year.
Like I listed a game I haven't played.
In 2020, I met Clanky.
Oh
yeah.
And we played Among Us together. And when I first met him, I thought he was YouTube star The Jay Witz. I still kind of do.
I don't know what to say to you, man. I'm not.
No, he's Twitch icon General Clanky.
That's not my username.
Anyways, we played a lot of Among Us in 2020. Met a lot of cool people. I played at least 10 games in 2020, and that was nice. Among those that I played,
Among those,
I said.
Among those, the sequel.
No, Among Us, the spaghetti.
Among Us, part of this complete breakfast.
Part of this sussy breakfast.
Oh, fuck off.
All right.
Sorry, go ahead.
So, of the games I played in 2020, there was a sequel to Bloodstained: Curse of the Moon, the 2D side scroller, which caught everyone off guard because we never thought they would make a sequel to that. I don't think. And I played it, and it's pretty damn great. Short and sweet time. Play it. They made a sequel to Mick's favorite game, Ori and the Blind Forest. It's called Ori and the Will of the Wisp, and it's even better.
Me like this.
It's even better than Ori and the Blind Forest, and they all the problems I had with the original Ori and the Will of the Wisp corrected, and it is a wonderful time that Mick loves.
Stop slandering me.
I have this as an honorable mention, but it's on the bracket. The last thing I want to mention is 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. It's a great game with a great story that I'm not going to tell you about. Just play it. Just fucking play it. Because there's just too much going on. And if I say anything, I've ruined the experience for you.
I saw that shit.
What?
What?
An entry changed before my very eyes.
What?
Whoops, I didn't think anyone would. Okay, whatever.
I love me 51 gosh darn classics though.
Oh wow.
Oh, had Clanky not edited his to put in what got compromised?
No. He changed it to Clubhouse Games 51 Gosh Darn Classics.
Oh, okay, I just didn't understand why he did that.
Awesome family fun.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm good. Clanky, you want to go next since you're clearly eager to talk?
I am? Okay.
Apparently.
So I goes without say, 2020 fucking sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Even more so than the whole, world shutting down and everything. I'm not gonna get into it, but let's just say I had a lot of family drama, and I'm just glad it's all in the past now. So yeah, 2020 sucked. Let's not talk about it any further. The only honorable mention I really have is part-time UFO, and I put in brackets if I'm not even sure if it counts because. Because I'm not really sure if it counts or not, because the game was technically released on mobile in I think 2017, and I didn't realize that until after we did 2020, so I couldn't even include it on the 2010 honorable mention thing, because then I definitely would have. But either way, so part-time UFO, really, really good game made by HAL Laboratories. You stack shit together, and it's super, super fun, and it's great. It came out on the Switch in 2020. That's why I put it in the honorable mentions for this, even though it doesn't really count. But yeah, either way, that's it.
May I go next?
Sure.
I was about to say, if no one says yes, I'm going to get kind of concerned. Well, let's start this off by saying 2020 was one of the worst years in human history. But for Christian...
That's hyperbolic.
Yeah, that is definitely hyperbole.
Hyperbolic
But
time chamber?
it is one of the worst years in human history that we have lived through. But
yeah,
in the micro, for Christian's 2020, this was actually one of the better years. This was one of the better ones. I think the highlight of my year was when I graduated this year in 2020. And one of the things that I think really made 2020 great was
diploma.
I got my diploma in what is this? And one of the things that made it so great was one of my last classes I ever did was I was a teaching assistant for a computer science class where I got to meet some really amazing people and learn that I kind of put me on the track to the job that I have now, which is a very important thing. And 2020 was the only year that I cared about school, and that's embarrassing. Other things that happened in 2020 game-wise, it was the year that I played my first. It was the year that I played my first Persona game, and Persona would go on to be my second favorite franchise of all time. It was the year where we played a shit ton of Sonic Robo Blast 2 Kart, and I loved the game so much that I made a Discord bot that tracked time trials on it, and you can
time to go into the time
compete with each other in the time trials. Fucking great. 2020 was the year that we were finally able to crack down on Danganronpa and beat Danganronpa 2, 1, and start VIII, all in that one time span.
Would that really all happen in 2020? I mean, I guess it did.
We beat one, we beat 2, and we started VIII.
That's crazy, dude.
Also, because of the advent of a new computer, I was able to finally indulge myself in VR chat and play that quite a little bit in 2020. I remember, I think 2020 was the year we had a going away party for someone on VR chat. I don't remember if that was exactly the year. It may have been 2021, not sure. But what also happened, and the reason why I find myself not actually playing that many games in 2020, was I spent a lot of 2020 perfecting and getting... I got 112% in Hollow Knight, and I got the 1,000,000% achievement in The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. And I spent a lot of time going for those
then
achievements.
Afterbirth came, and then
Repentance came out, and now I have to get Dead God, and I'm excited, but I have to get through a good few things first before I get there.
You are 100%ing it though, right?
Eventually, yes, of course.
Okay.
It's the game has now been doubled. In terms of my honorable mentions, Fall Guys is on the list. Gartic Phone is better than any Jackbox game. Risk of Rain 2 is a roguelike that I feel like if I played more of, it would actually be on this list. But I didn't play more of it, so it ended up not getting on. I have a lot of respect for Risk of Rain 2. I think it's a very well-made game. The Jackbox Party Pack 7 has talking points and Champed Up, and the rest of them are also really good. The Devil in the Details, very, very fun.
There's not a bad Jackbox
Don't
7
listen
game,
to him.
and I like it more than God of Thrones.
I disagree with your wrong opinion. Spellbreak is one of the few battle royales that I really got into for a short period of time, and I really tried to play Spellbreak a little bit more, but it was for naught. It's a really fun game where you use spells to like kill people instead of guns, and it's the third person. You hop around, you fly everywhere, and shit. It's great.
It's a game where you spell the word break over and over again.
It's Typing of the Dead, but a battle royale, apparently, according to that description.
Exclusively the word break.
This game sucks. And why is it here? Why is it in my honorable mentions? This game fucking blows. And then Valorant is another game I also really, really tried to like, but I don't even know why it's on my honorable mentions. I'm not a huge fan of Valorant.
You just wanted to bring it up.
I just wanted to mention it again because I get some sort of sweet vindication from talking about why I don't care about this game. And that's it for me.
It gets you off, I get it.
I just like the mouthfeel of certain words.
Yeah, and that's it. That's everything.
Graham, are you gonna turn off your camera or not?
No.
No, he's not.
Graham, don't listen to Taylor. Keep your camera on even after the call's done.
Yep. Anyway, since my video's on, I'll go next. Unless Christian, you guys more.
Yay!
No, I'm done. I'm
Okay.
done.
Troy Toy was like rough. In addition to everything else that like happened, this was the year of college where I had to take a bunch of extra classes because it turns out I didn't actually have enough credits to graduate. So I had to bust my ass in some classes. Almost failed one. Had to drop out another before I failed that one. Had to take 2 summer classes, but I thought it would all be worth it. I got to walk up to graduation. And then we had only virtual graduation where they mispronounced my last name. But other than that, like that's the year some of my other friends got together, made a Discord channel that I feels like I'm in almost like every day now. Like a lot of great friends, including my friend Chris Kirk.
Oh yeah.
I think we've said
Not
this
us.
before, but
Great.
don't say his last name.
No, he
fine.
advertises himself as composer
He's
Kirk.
a famous
Yeah.
person now. He's a famous
Yeah.
game guy.
Mhm.
It's okay.
I thought you were about to say he advertises himself like he has like his website as like. I'm sorry. I was about to say that, yes, and then you disappeared, Graham.
Yeah, I was about to say 2020 was the year Graham disappeared for the rest of us. We didn't see Graham in 2020.
Yeah.
Graham's friend.
That was because as much as like I love the Among Us, I had like also was going through like some like social anxiety shit where it was like there's a lot of people in this chat that I don't know. I'm gonna pop in sporadically.
Oh yeah, Graham, you're going through some social anxiety shit? Yeah, so are the rest of us. What makes you so special? We all hate interacting with people. Why do you think you're...
Here.
Everyone's social anxiety should be equally acknowledged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of honorable mentions, all I'll say about Last of Us Part 2 is it is a very good game. If I couldn't get anybody on board with the first one, there's definitely no chance of getting on board with the second one, even though I do think it is just as good as the first one. I know, but
I'm sorry. I'm not going to shit all over this. I actually do like The Last of Us Part 2, but I think it is... I think it gets too much praise. I don't think it's as good as everyone thinks it is.
And either way, there's a lot of just bullshit surrounding the game, so that's why I also didn't want to talk about it further.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and all of that's unacceptable. Like the community behind
they
this
spammed the Game Awards.
is disgusting, and I have no respect for the people who made this so hard. I just genuinely think the game is not as good as the first one.
Yeah. And my other 2 honorable mentions are already on the list, so we'll get to talk about them. Yeah.
Okay. Jordan.
2020 sucked.
All right.
It just did. It just really did.
Well,
And-
let's just start, okay? Let's go. Come on.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right.
No,
Fine.
I'm sorry. I just assumed that would bookend the whole thing. Do you have more, Jordan?
2020 sucked.
Not really. No.
All right.
All right. So let me. All right. Now I have to pull up the fucking bracket. I'm sorry.
Christian, what the hell is the theme for this year?
What?
It's a karate tournament.
It's a
okay.
karate tournament. Yeah. We're all gonna settle this by fighting each
What are
other.
you talking about? Theme.
Every year, like he chooses a new game for it, and it changes what the banner is. So, like 2011, like he chose Fortnite or some shit. And like for every year, it's been a different like funny meme game. And then this, I just see a bunch of like weird orange and white shapes. I'm like, what is this? Oh, it's karate.
Yeah, karate, the funniest meme of all.
Yeah.
So we're gonna beat the shit out of each other. Yeah.
I will fight you all for the positions on these lists.
Yeah, SpongeBob. Karate from SpongeBob.
Karate.
Anyway, so our bracket.
Right. Yes, the bracket that we are here to do involves. You pulled up the thing, didn't you? Yeah. For
Guys, hurry! Jordan's going full walking.
Sorry, no, I took me a moment. All right, so bracket. We're getting into it. Okay.
This is a fun first bracket choice.
Oh, it better be.
Yes. So our first bracket is Omori, which is a Christian pick, versus Phasmophobia, which is a Graham pick. Who would like to go first?
I can go first.
Okay, Christian. And remember, you have 8 minutes, and even though we're being a little bit more frugal, I am going to make sure that let you guys know when we're getting close to the end of it, and
Yes,
I won't be too mean this time, but I'll be a little mean. All right, starting the 8 minutes in 3, 2, 1, go.
Omori, do you all like Earthbound-inspired RPGs?
Yes!
No, I despise them.
Yes!
Please, no more. Anything but that.
Yes! Yes!
Because that's what this is. Developed over the course of 6.5 years by solo developer Omocat, this is one of the most charming, emotionally taxing, awe-inspiring human creations I have bared witness to in a long, long time. You play the game as the titularly named Omori, and you basically travel along several different wacky, unique areas, fighting colorful casts of characters, and occasionally delving into small, teensy occurrences of intense psychological horror. But this game is not that scary. The game usually clearly denotes when scary things are about to occur, either by all of your characters disappearing suddenly, or by a sudden change in music. There's never a time where you're going to be surprised by something scary. There are a few jump scares, however. In my extended jump scare experience, they can be best described as mild, very quiet, and inoffensive. I was not surprised or even slightly flinched at a single jump scare in this entire game. Because
And yet you denoted to come to me and be like, hey, Taylor, when you play this game, don't open doors.
Well, don't open that first door and you're fine. It's the scariest part of the whole game. But this game's horror more so shows to display an eerie, unsettling atmosphere that gets under your skin in a surreal way, like something like Yume Nikki, honestly. It is what it's a lot more similar to. Basically, if you watch...
Just call me?
Basically, if you watch Stranger Things, you can handle this.
Okay, cool.
The combat has you with a team of 4 that you never switch out. You always have the same 4 party members. This allows each party member to retain strong characters and develop immensely as the game's plot progresses. One cool thing that happens related to this are a mechanic in the game called follow-up attacks, where as you progress throughout the game, like, you can, in battles, you can, like, build up these, like, points in this points meter every time you attack, and your teammates will talk to you while you're fighting and try to do follow-up attacks with you. And they'll start off with something simple, like, one of the follow-up attacks is, one of the characters looks at you and you ignore her, so she's like, huh, and she does an extra attack which deals ×2 damage. But by the end of the game, your main character looks at her and acknowledges her, and she's like, yay, and deals ×3 damage and ignores all of the opponent's defense. Sure, this is an overcomplicated way to say that ×2 turns into ×3 with no defense, but the flavor text adds a lot of personality and charm to its game and the cast. The combat also has an emotions rock, paper, scissors system, where you can change either yourself or your opponents to be happy, angry, or sad, each being strong against each other in this sort of, like, triangle, if you will. This leads to battles with investigating how each opponent changes theirs or your emotions, how you can maximize your damage using certain abilities, because if, happy being good against angry, happy attack, like when you are happy and you do an attack against an angry opponent, it's going to do more damage. And you have to do lots of strategizing to make sure that your team is, like, well balanced, and make sure that you can set your team members to, okay, I have an attack that sets team members to sad, I have one that sets to happy, I have some items that set us to angry, so that's probably good enough for now. Also, every single enemy in the game has a unique like face sprite for the emotion that they're feeling. So enemies will actually look sad when they're sad and look angry when they're angry. I want to go into this game's story, I really do, but I can't. You need to experience it yourself. But what I will say is that the game is often praised for its depictions of anxiety, depression, and especially trauma. And I can confirm all of this to be 100% accurate. I had a bit about the characters that I'm going to skip. The art style in regular movement is your typical RPG Maker affair. You know, in the overworld, it's typical, you know, RPG Maker sprites. But the art style in battles is this incredible, everything is hand-drawn kind of style that looks incredible and gives every enemy in fight so much life. Like, it's imagine like Clanky. It's like how you like to draw characters, or like your logo in your main videos. Every character moves like that, and it's like, it's wild, it's insane.
They all say Clanky.
So true.
The soundtrack is incredible with over 179 songs. For an indie game, I think that's pretty good. Unique boss themes and enemy themes for different levels, and some popular composers like musician Bowen, who some of you might have heard of before. He likes to do video game music quite frequently, actually. There's one boss later in this game for when its music track kicked in, my jaw just left my face and dropped into the Earth's core, never to return. I am jawless to this day, and that's only my second favorite song in the game. I'm gonna skip all of the
delve deep into the hollow earth to recover Christian's jaw.
I heard it was my skin favorite song. That's what I heard.
I'm gonna skip all of the small stuff. I'll tell that during other votes. But
I heard the same thing, Taylor.
Okay, the skin. This is a beautiful little game that. All right, everyone, get your shots ready. Get your drinks. Get your drinks ready.
Is it not in your bed?
It's my new number 15, not one. My new number 15 favorite game of all time. It beat Bloodborne by 1 point. So
amazing.
I love this game. I went a little over 5 minutes. Sorry, Graham.
Yeah,
that's the longest one that I have tonight.
Yeah. Admittedly, Christian, when you told me that you had taken notes, I could hear the Microsoft word.
I skipped a lot.
All right, so
I'm sorry, Graham. Before you go, just so I'm clear, no one else has played Omori, right?
I have not.
I'm assuming so.
Okay.
Christian bought it for me.
Go ahead, Graham. That was nice.
All right, so Phasmophobia is a 4-player cooperative game where you all have jobs, which is, I know, scary, but your job is to go into haunted houses and figure out exactly what kind of ghost is haunting this place, while avoiding being killed by said ghost. What makes this game especially unique is how it uses specifically sound and voice chat. When you're playing the game, the game will simulate how far you are away from someone else. So if you're talking you and they're in the other room, they'll sound like they're in the other room, even though you're talking with this the same microphone camera. On top of that, the game also has audio recognition software where you'll be told the name of the ghost that you're hunting, and you can use that name to try to provoke it, and it will even acknowledge if you're cursing alongside with the name. So you can just walk in the room, go, Linda Smith, go fuck yourself, and you might get attacked by a ghost. You can find out what type of ghost it is based on any of... It'll have a random combination of 3 traits with it. Some ghosts make a room freezing cold. Some ghosts will leave fingerprints on doors. Some ghosts, you also get what in the ghost hunting business called a spirit box. You can ask questions to the ghost, and if it responds, that's evidence. You can ask where are you angry? It'll say yes, and it used to be like a radio-ish voice, but now it whispers in your ear, and it freaks you the fuck out even more. Also, all of the ghosts have their own specific traits. There are some ghosts that will attack more when all the lights are off. There are some ghosts that will attack more when all the lights are on. There are some ghosts that will attack more if you are talking too much. This game is still in, it's pretty well developed so far, but it is technically still in early access. But even playing it now versus playing it back in 22 is like night and day. They've added just so many features, maps, new ghosts, new equipment, and like I think they were saying pretty soon is like they'll be getting ready for the full release. But I'm still counting this as a 2020 game because you could play the game and get basically what the core mechanics of it were going to be in 2020 versus a game like
I actually
Baldur's
didn't
Gate.
know this was early access. I might have said something. Has anyone else played this?
I've been offered to play it several times, and I have declined.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of people play this game, and it looks very interesting.
That's my relationship is that I've seen it. This is taking away the I'm not a horror fan, sure, but it looks really boring.
That is not my experience of watching people play it.
When I watch people play it, when I watch people play it, it doesn't seem like it works a lot of the time. Like, you know how, Graham, you were saying earlier that you can go into a room and tell a ghost to go fuck itself? I watch players do that. Nothing happens.
Well, it's not going to happen every time. It just increases the chances of something happening.
If it happened every time, it would become very predictable and boring.
Well, it's just a matter of whenever I see it, I see a lot of difficulty figuring out how to communicate with the ghost in general. Look, I might just... You said that the game has evolved in recent time. I was probably watching it when it was more recent. I guess it looks a lot more novel to me, like a fun experiment.
This is definitely a game like Jackbox where the people who you play it with will affect your enjoyment a lot more than like the game itself. Like I'm playing with people who will just make each other laugh.
That's actually a great analogy that you just used. That this reminds me of like a Jackbox game where it's probably fun with the group you're playing at, but maybe not as fully developed of an idea as I think a lot of people make it out to be.
Yeah, like I can probably say, like, from what I've seen is that like it actually seems like a horrible experience playing alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know why I would play alone.
Yeah.
Can you play alone?
Yeah,
you can. I have seen someone play alone at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and like an hour into the experience, they're like, "I have to call somebody."
Yeah.
Like because they were scared or because they were bored?
Bored.
Okay. Yeah. So that's my 2 cents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or rather, let me clarify. They were a streamer, and so it was probably a mix of I'm bored and also like this is not good content.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I
It was
say?
German, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
Can I say an extra thing that's been on my mind for a couple seconds?
Yeah, I was hoping you would say something.
Sure.
Mick.
Yep.
Would it make you feel any better if I said on the Earthbound to Undertale scale, Omori is unequivocally on the Earthbound side?
I don't really know what that means.
It's not Undertale.
Okay, no. Okay.
I can translate, Mick. I think he's saying if Undertale is the memeier end of Earthbound, then it probably lines itself much more in the serious tones that game emits.
Yeah, like some people play Omori and expect an Undertale-like game, but it's nothing like it, like at all. And
he's saying it's Earthbound-like in its presentation rather than its dialogue and scripting.
Okay. Yeah. What is it? What is its gameplay?
It's an RPG. It's a turn-based, text-based RPG. So, Look, I just wanted to try one thing, like an experiment, like dip a little drop in a beaker and see if I got a reaction, you know?
Dip in the little dot.
Yeah.
Dippin' Dots. The ice cream of the future.
I'm ready to vote, though, by the way, I guess.
I've been to the Bronx for ages.
Really? Oh, you gotta... Can I just say, in my head, I always associate it with Adventureland.
Where are my Splish Splash folks at? Like, come on?
I don't remember... I've been to Adventureland a fair bit, and Splish Splash too, but I don't really remember getting it there.
Graham, at some point, we gotta go together, we'll drop acid and go on the haunted house ride.
Yes.
Yes!
like pirate or whatever?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I have to figure out the order. Let's see here. Because I feel like I always pick the same person to go first.
Just pick me to go first.
I thought the way you decide first is like just the order of the call.
I do, but I try and go like down a way, so I'm not starting just at the top of the call.
All right, so just pick a number between 1 and 6.
Okay, I pick number 2, Christian.
Yeah!
My favorite number.
You'll see that on your calculators.
Yeah, mostly because I already know what you're voting for, Christian. So, Chris.
Oh, of course. I am gunning for Omori to get in the top 4. I really want it to happen, and I will be sad if it doesn't happen. So let's just see where this goes.
Okay.
My vote is for Omori.
All right. Okay, we go to Mick.
I'm voting for Phasmophobia.
Right. Clanky.
Omori.
Okay. Graham.
Phasmophobia.
And this is why I did this order, because Taylor, you are tiebreaker.
Top 4 we'll see, but I will say it's a very powerful thing if I want to play a horror game, and I have a lot of interest in playing Omori. I mean, okay, these were both horror games, so I was gonna have to say that for whatever I voted for, but I actively do want to play Omori. Don't really want to play Phasmophobia.
Okay, Omori wins 3-2. Easy. Okay.
Sorry, Graham.
Phasmophobia is like, it's like Rainbow Six Siege. This is like one of the most anti-Taylor games out there.
Can we start using the term anti-Taylor?
The only thing that could make it even more anti-Taylor is if it was in space.
Let's not create an anti-Taylor genre.
Isn't this just Alien Isolation?
I probably
It's true. Alien Isolation is a horror game in space.
I probably play more genres than most people.
Granted.
I have a very, if I may be very, very, very snooty, I have a very refined video game palette.
Oh ho ho! Excuse me, Mr. Fancy Pants.
My tongue tastes like Mortal Kombat.
What did that taste like?
Hang on a minute.
My tongue tastes like Graham's ass. We go on now.
Jordan, I love you.
I hate that we're not going to get Graham's capture, but the best part is that after I did that joke, Graham just sort of shrugged and went figures.
Yeah.
No, he did one of those like sitcom things where he's like, "Oh," and then just smiles slowly. Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, that's pretty true." Moving on now. We have our next matchup is Kentucky Route Zero, which is a Mick pick, versus, and I'm going to use the title you gave it in the Discord, Clubhouse Games 51 Goshdarned Classics, which is submitted by Clanky, as was that name. Who wants to go first?
I know Mick wants to go first. I'm going to say one thing, and then Mick can go first.
Oh, I don't want to go first.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I actually say
right.
one very quick thing? Literally one very quick thing.
Well, you want to say one very quick thing, and Taylor wants to say one.
I'll be quicker.
It's okay. Graham can go.
All right.
Kentucky
Graham's going to go first. I'm going to start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go.
I have not played Kentucky Route Zero, but the name alone is selling me on it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, Mick,
Yeah.
you say you don't like RPGs, but Kentucky Route Zero is an amazing RPG.
No, it's not.
It's an absolute RPG.
It is not.
What are you talking about? It's a random poetry generator.
Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Ha
Got him.
ha ha ha. Who wants to talk about Clubhouse Games 51 Classics?
Dots and boxes.
The problem is that there's not really much to say about Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics because you know exactly what you're getting when you buy it. This was I needed another choice, so I had to put something on the my bracket kind of choice, and not an oh my god I love this game kind of choice. I mean, it's pretty cool. I like the fact that you can basically just play Uno and checkers and chess and hounds and hares on a whim, but at the same time, it's exactly as advertised, so there's really not much to say about these games since they've been around for like over 100 years at this point.
What we're really debating here is Kentucky Route Zero versus Graham's Closet.
Dots and boxes.
Dots
Counter
and boxes.
arguments, please direct them to the left.
Alright, so I guess I'll go now. Kentucky Route Zero is a point-and-click game. Not a point-and-click adventure game. Just a point-and-click game. Gameplay, for the most part, resolves around going to places and talking to people. There are puzzles of a sort, Like there's one bit in the game where it forces you to play Zork.
There is?
Yeah, there's like a text adventure
Oh, I
sequence.
played the game. There is.
I love Call of Duty Black Ops.
It's not probably Zork. No, you don't remember the. You know, whatever.
I'll be honest with you, Mick. I blacked out most of my memories of this game.
Fair enough. Anyway, point being.
Were you drinking?
No.
So you play as a character named Conway. He's a truck driver and he makes deliveries for an antique shop. He has to make delivery to a location known as to an address 5 Dogwood Drive, and he can't find it. And when the game begins, he has stopped at a gas station called Equus Oils. And it's like, hey, I need to get to Dogwood Drive. Do you know how to get there? And the gas station attendant says, if you want to go get there, you're going to have to take the Route 0. Kentucky Route 0 in the game, not the game's name, but like the actual thing in the game, is an interstate highway, or rather intrastate highway, I guess, that can take you to places that don't that can't be found anywhere else. It goes deep beneath the earth. And the more you... It's basically... The game starts out, it's like, oh, okay, this is, like, vaguely modern. And then weird things continue to happen. But not like in a horror sense. More in the sense of everything just starts to get in a sort of, like, a very literary way. Where you just encounter, like, weird things that don't quite make sense. But no one reacts the way you would normally react to weird shit. Case in point, one of my favorite bits is, at one point in the game, you have to go to, you're trying to find a certain location, and you stop at this office building. Now, this office building was a former church. It has now been turned into an office building. Incidentally, the former office building was turned into a church. Anyway, you go into the elevator, and you're presented with 5 options.
I know where he's going with this.
And
remember.
The options you're presented, you're more like, actually, I think it's like six or, it's more than that.
Doesn't matter, go ahead.
There's the lobby. There's the mailroom, conference center, bears, archives, desk, office area, whatever.
Floor 3, bears.
Bears. And so obviously you get in here and you're like, well, I have to click floor 3 bears. And you click floor 3, and it goes up, you exit the elevator, and a bunch of bears are just sitting in this empty office room floor, and they all just turn to look at you. And you walk around, there's nothing on the floor other than bears. They track the movements of your character, but never do anything else. And no one reacts as if this is weird. Trying to explain anything more about the game is kind of would kind of be counterintuitive to the kind of experience. Emotionally, the game has this very quiet. It's the close. I would compare the experience of playing this game to more like reading a book, listening to an audiobook, or hearing a campfire story. Like, it doesn't feel like any other video game. It and Bloodborne are probably tied for my favorite game.
Oh, shit.
Forgot
it was that high.
Yeah, it is. The thing you will mostly do in the game is, like I said, have conversations with people. And the way it's sort of structured is as if it's a screenplay.
Oh.
And so it'll say character name and then their lines of dialogue.
Yeah,
but the interesting thing is you will not only choose the lines of dialogue that your character speaks, but occasionally you will choose like stage directions or even lines that other characters speak.
Yeah, in fact, Mick, I would make the argument that you don't just play as Conway, but you play as everybody.
Yes, that is fair. However, you're like the core character that the game, like.
You're important.
Well, my main thing is that like Conway is like the one constant in the game.
You finished the game, right?
Yes.
Okay.
My point is that like throughout almost the entire game, like the one character that you will always have in your party is Conway. That's not strictly true, but you know.
Yeah. Can I add to this since I also have played it?
Yeah, sure.
I want to say that everything Mick has said so far has been correct, and it is a very it is like the equivalent of like playing a game while having a really good high on acid. It's a like it's like it's.
And I want to say, and when he says high on acid, Taylor's actually probably, if anything, more accurately describing the experience of actually playing something on acid. Like, it's not like the, ooh, elephants or whatever. It's like the, I've stared at the pattern on the floor for 3 hours like it's the most interesting thing in the fucking world.
In fact, you know what? Maybe not acid, maybe LSD.
They're the same thing.
Yeah.
They are the same thing.
I don't know the drugs.
It's fine. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, we know what you're saying.
Okay. I'm embarrassed though.
It's okay.
Well, anyways, the only thing I'm going to say as a negative to this experience is it's very much not going to be a problem for everybody. But I would say that the thing about Kentucky Route Zero that holds me back a little is it's a game where you need to be there. You need to be in the moment, and it's very easy to lose track of it. It's very easy to get lost and confused narratively because the game is very much a collection of ideas. Like, there's a story, of course, but a lot of the time it gets so immersed in one of its ideas that you can very easily lose track of what the hell is going on. And I have a very difficult time remembering what the story was because I got confused a lot. It's a very intelligent game, and it's very like I have no doubts that it would be way easier for Mick to hold the attention. It was very difficult for me to hold attention throughout it all. I remember lots of it, and I remember enjoying a lot of it, but I remember feeling lost a lot too. And I just feel like that is important to mention, that it is like you can't just like unwind with this. You need to be there in the moment.
Yeah, so I will also I will also say, like, you know, I mean, I'm a literature major, so that probably has a lot to do with the kind of things I enjoy. But also I will also say, like, the game was in development for almost a decade. Like, it was released episodically, and I think the first time it released was in like 2012 or something. And then it was like the final chapter, Act 5, was released in 2020.
Yeah.
And it's really you can definitely feel like certain changes in the storyline is like, okay, no, this, you can kind of tell how this reflects, the game's designers were clearly going through different things in their life, and it kind of affects the storyline.
Yeah. I would even say within the confines of one individual episode, it's easy to lose track sometimes.
Yeah.
I remember there's this character, he's a kid, and he has this relationship with birds.
Yeah.
Birds?
Ezra.
Yeah, and I remember enjoying him, but I remember, like, even in that moment, like, I got lost in that narrative too.
Yeah, so it is, I can totally understand why someone might get lost in the narrative. Because it is not a conventionally told story, and it's more akin to something like,
I feel like it's a moving portrait, quite frankly.
I will say, I'm ready to vote.
Okay, cool.
I don't think there's anything anyone can say that will convince me otherwise.
Fair enough.
Really?
Okay, yeah, no, I guess there wasn't much to say about Clubhouse Games 51, but if
I will say, actually, if I can say something, my favorite thing about Clubhouse 51 Worldwide Classics is it says a lot about Nintendo's internet, that it lags trying to play dots and boxes.
This is so fucking funny. It's so funny.
Yeah,
like, there's input lag for checkers. How do you pull that off?
But it does have yacht dice, and yacht dice is one of the best things ever, so it's kind of hard to, we'll get to it when we get to the vote.
Yeah. Although, admittedly, I just want to say, it is astonishing that this was like the collection of childhood classic board games in Graham's closet that seems to have it seems to have succeeded, whereas other versions of this game haven't. Like, I hear a lot more fonder memories of this game than I hear about other. Like, no one talks about games like this except for this one.
Yeah.
The only reason people talk about this game, a hot take, is because it was published by Nintendo.
Oh, there you go.
It's also it's also one of the few online experiences you can have on the Switch that you can connect, like you can use Nintendo Online and it'll basically work. I mean, obviously not without issues, because as I said, there's input lag when playing checkers. But but input lag for checkers is a lot better than input lag for Smash Brothers. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Are we ready to get to the vote? Is there any other points people have to make?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We start with Christian.
So it was actually surprisingly difficult between these two choices, which you wouldn't fucking believe, right? Because Kentucky Route Zero, I have much love and respect to your favorite game of all time, Mick. I'm not sure if it would be entirely my thing. And Clubhouse games...
I will say, it is a great game for people who don't really play video games.
Yeah, and I respect it. I everything you've described to me strikes of a quality video game that I might not personally enjoy as much.
Jordan would
like,
get a lot
actually,
out of it.
like, quick story. My ex-girlfriend, when we were dating, her brother was trying to get her to play Mass Effect.
That is not the game that you show to people when it's...
And she's like, she wasn't really like a video game person. I'm like, you know what? Let's try this. And like, we play through a bit of Kentucky Route Zero, and she has a great time because it's not a game.
Yeah.
It's like reading a book.
Yeah.
Which is why at the end of the day, I'm actually going to give it to Kentucky Route Zero, because even though I fucking love dots and boxes,
I love its dots and boxes. I love dots and boxes.
It's just dots and boxes.
50 other games, you know that, right?
It's dots and boxes and 50 other worldwide classics. That's the name of the game.
Dots and boxes, hares and hounds, and then the other things.
Other Goshdarned classics.
So yeah, my vote goes to Kentucky Route Zero.
Okay. Well, Mick.
Kentucky Route Zero.
Yeah. Clanky.
Kentucky Route Zero.
Really? All right. Graham.
Kentucky Route Zero.
Taylor, what do we
Look,
think?
if I wanted Graham to open up his closet, then I would just ask him. Kentucky Route Zero.
But then the skeletons would get out. Any idea how hard it is to get a skeleton these days?
No, Graham, I don't. I have one. Christian has one. We all have them, Graham.
Yeah.
It's really easy to get a skeleton. I was born with one.
If I had a nickel for every skeleton I had possession of, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that I have 2.
I think only Graham got my Bane reference, but
I don't think your Bane reference came through the mic on my end.
Yeah, did you Bane?
I think because all right, I'll do it quieter because Mick said I was born with a skeleton, so I went.
No, I didn't get that at all. I don't think your mic likes Bane impressions.
I think because when I go,
you give me back my pasta maker.
Buy it. That's
what I wanted more than anything else in the universe was for him to remove the mask and for him to sound exactly the same.
It always works.
Yeah.
Now I know I have someone I can talk about season 3 of Harley Quinn with later.
Yep.
Anyway, we move on now to the next one, which is Hades, which is a Taylor pick, versus another Taylor pick, which is the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm not going to do another Roman numeral joke here because it's not as funny because it's just V. So
yeah, it's easy to pronounce, so it's significantly less funny.
So that's the fucking point.
Taylor, would you rather represent Hades or Final Fantasy VII Remake?
Look, I've been so frustrated that these two are going against each other the whole time. But let me start, and we'll see if I just ignore one of these because I like one of these a lot more than the other.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I know which one. I'm going to start the timer, and I mean, at this point, we're kind of going past him anyway, but either way. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So, in the last decade of games, I have been impacted. I mean, the game that's impacted me the most is the Persona franchise. Of that, there is no truth. But if I wanted to bring up a game that caught me the most off guard with how much I fell in love with it, it would be Hades.
Mm-hmm.
I was not supposed to like Hades as much as I did. I had always seen enough of Hades to know I'm going to play this. It definitely has top 100 potential, and I think it's just going to be a jolly good time, and then, you know, that'll be it. But not only has Hades become the best roguelike I've ever played, but it's just become one of the best games I've ever played, period. And it's the only game where I feel like I could write a walkthrough, like I could write a strategy guide on it, because I feel like it's a game that I've not only played, but I've mastered. I feel like it does such a good job at introducing every single one of its mechanics, making you comfortable with how each individual element works, so you know what's a good feature and what's a bad feature. Like, everyone knows what Hades is, right?
Yeah.
I have a good idea.
Yeah. So, like, when you select various god boons, like, you get your power ups. Like, you generally get to choose between one or the other sometimes. And like, you learn which ones you need, right? Like, you learn that a lot of Zeus's abilities aren't as good as Dionysus's abilities, or Artemis's abilities. And I'm waiting for someone to tell me, fuck you, Zeus is the best one. But nah, that's just not true.
No, Athena's the best.
Athena's got some good abilities, absolutely. So, look, I don't need to talk too much about Hades' story. You're trying to escape hell, and that's all you need to know. You're the son of Hades, and you're awesome. There is the thing about Hades that I think makes it the best roguelike is how constantly, how it is possible that every couple of seconds the game is able to reward you. Because in other games, I'm going to mention some other roguelikes. I feel like I have to. In a game like, let's say, The Binding of Isaac, you get a reward each floor. Like, there are in a casual run of Isaac, there are how many floors till Mom's Heart, Christian? 8?
7, yeah, 8.
Okay. So, for like the first 6 of those floors, you'll get one new power-up in a room, and an extra power-up when you beat the boss. So about 2 power-ups a floor. On a casual run? Am I mean, that's
Don't ignore shops. Don't ignore shops.
Oh, okay. But like, you might not be able to afford it. Like, you're guaranteed if you play the game thoroughly to get at least those 2, right?
Yeah. But with a max ceiling much higher than 2, of course.
Right. But okay. But in Hades, every single room is a reward. Hades has this brilliant system where when you clear a room of enemies, you see what the next room can offer you. So you carve out your own path every run. Do I want to go get more darkness so that if I lose this run, I can upgrade myself more fast for the next run? Or would I rather go after a boon and have an extra power up for this run? Is this boon a god that I feel like I could get a lot out of? Do I want to go a route that's going to get me money? Do I want to meet one of the many friends of Zagreus who are hanging out in the pits of Hades? There is no bad choice. There are 0 incorrect choices in Hades. Every single object in Hades has value. And that is an incredibly rewarding feeling throughout. On top of all of that, the combat feels incredible. There are 6 different weapons, and each one of them plays incredibly differently. And each one of those weapons has multiple different weapon types. So there's like, it ends up being that there are like 12 to 18 different combinations. There are so many ways to play this game, and they all feel incredible.
Wow.
It is such a rewarding, amazing feeling. And none of this is talking about the great characters you're going to meet throughout. Quick story.
Okay.
When I was in high school, we had to read the Odyssey. In fact, a couple of you already know the story.
Yeah.
I had a teacher who made us read the Odyssey, and you could get out of the Odyssey if you brought up Chicago. I didn't like the Odyssey. I didn't have very good. I still don't have very good reading comprehension, and it made me hate Greek mythology. Hades has made me care about the Greeks.
Hell yeah.
And their mythology.
Hades is the reason why Taylor likes Gyros.
Hades taught me what Sisyphus's deal is. Hades taught me about Orpheus and Eurydice in a way that I care about.
Oh
Hades
shit, sorry,
is-
Persona 3.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. It is like Persona 3 because you can hang out with all of them and give them gifts and hang out. You can date multiple, like 60 hours in, the game becomes a dating simulator. And like every 10 hours, a new feature gets added. You can get gay with death if you want. You can date ahead if you want. You can get BDSM'd. There's so many options, and there's so much dialogue. 80 hours in, there's still dialogue I haven't unlocked. This game is so fucking perfect, and I have mastered it. I did the hardest challenge in the game, and I feel like I could give anyone really great advice. I probably used the full 8 minutes. Does anyone else want to talk about Hades before I talk about Final Fantasy?
I have things I want to say, but I'll save it like when I vote. I will just say very quickly, yes, you can put Pet Cerberus.
Aww.
That's adorable.
I think that was a selling point a friend of mine actually used for it. But yeah. There's like a minute and change left, but we're going over anyway. Final Fantasy VII Remake. What do you think?
I'm the only one who's played this one.
I've played it. I haven't finished
Okay.
it, but like I know what happens. Yeah, it's like I can just say like, yeah, it's a good game. I like a lot of I've also have played and beaten before it even came out the original Final Fantasy VII, so I can like offer like input on like both experiences. And
I mean, I know the whole thing, but don't spoil me too hard on it. Like, just in case there's stuff that I missed.
No, I don't think we need to talk about the story to talk about the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's I think a much better realized version of Final Fantasy 15's combat. Just like I'm sorry, Final Fantasy. With more added like special abilities and swapping between characters like in the base game and using like magic and stuff that's like less than like 15's like, all right, I'm gonna throw a ball of magic at you.
Yeah. What's great about Final Fantasy VII's combat is how much it keeps you engaged with your whole party. You're able to, you constantly switch direct control over each of the party members, so you actually get to continuously play as all 4 of the characters that you get to play as through the journey, which I think is a feature that is often needed in RPGs, because it makes every party member feel valuable in a very good way. As Graham said, I think they did a lot of smart developments from the original game, which I played. I think it's a very good retelling of the story that gives a lot of added weight to what was otherwise smaller parts. A lot of people see the remake as a lot of extra filler. I don't. I think it's just a better realized version, and it's just paced differently. It's a different game. In fact, I would say that playing this, it does not mean don't go and play the original Final Fantasy, because I think they both have their own merits of playing. But this game I think is great. I think Cloud is cool in it. I think all the characters are great in it. The music is fantastic. The combat is just if you like Kingdom Hearts combat, you'll like this. Grandma's shaking his head. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Grandma's.
It's Kingdom Hearts without one particular boss, so that means it's very good.
Yeah.
But the rest of it's the same. What a sham! They re-released the same fucking game.
Yeah, I guess the thing about it though is that it's just not done yet. It's a third of it. It's one part of what's going to be a trilogy of games, and there's definitely more to it, and we're gonna just kind of have to wait. But it's fucking great, and I guess if I wasn't so passionate about Hades, I probably would have thought out what I wanted to say about 7 better. But 7 Remake is so good, and I think if you're on the fence about how you feel about Final Fantasy, I think this one is I feel like this one could be a very good entry point if you're a more casual JRPG person, because it's action based as opposed to turn based. It might, it's got a more contemporary setting. I think there are a lot of things that separate it from the rest of Final Fantasy in ways that might matter to some people. But Hades.
Yeah.
Oh,
What was that?
I don't know.
He's a guy.
It was a guttural utterance.
Sorry,
Otherwise known as a gutterance.
one last thing I'm going to say about Hades, and then we can vote. There is a boss in the game. I'm gonna just mention the second boss in the game real quick. It's not really all that story important, but is that okay with everybody?
Yeah.
Sure.
So you fight a Hydra, and it's the Lermanian Bone Hydra.
The Lernian Hydra.
The Lernian Hydra, yeah. And after like 80 runs, Zagreus is like, I'm gonna give you a name. I'm gonna call you Lerny. And then every time you fight the boss is now called Lerny.
That's great.
Okay.
And like he just has
Anything
casual
else?
conversations with him. Like, how are you, Lerny?
All right.
Well said,
Oh,
Jordan.
true.
Yes.
Honestly, how do you put that in Roman numerals?
Thank you guys for valuing my opinions on things. I'm definitely keeping that in the edit. Christian, you're up first.
So I don't think there's ever going to be a roguelike in the rest of my life that I'm going to like more than The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, but any roguelike that can come close for a lot of people, it means that it has to be good. And I'm going to give that benefit of the doubt to Hades for most of these votes. So
Okay.
we'll see.
Mick.
Come back to me.
Okay. Graham.
This very quickly, what I want to say about Hades is the only reason I'm not on my honorable mentions or my entries is that whenever I looked up Games 2020, for some reason I did not see Hades on the list. I'm kicking myself in the shins for it. Also,
How did you not see it?
I
How
don't
did you-
know.
How do you kick yourself in the shins? That would require bending back the primary kicking implements.
If anyone's able to, it's Graham.
His ankle just like bends backwards. Oh, I see. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Also, I promise I'll be very quickly about this, but there's one little story aspect of Hades that I think is fucking brilliant. The third boss, again, none of the bosses are really like spoilers, so not really story significance. So you go up against Theseus and the Minotaur, and Hades set in a world like where the myths have already happened. And you find out that Theseus had this long character arc after he died. That, you know what, I just took the fact that the Minotaur Asterion was a monster at face value. I'm gonna actually talk to him, and they actually talk. They actually become very good friends. So okay, good. Theseus doesn't only just see someone as a monster just because of face value, and then he does the exact same thing to you. No one ever comments on it. It's something that you have to come to your own conclusion about. It is fucking brilliant.
That's a vote for Hades, right?
Yes.
Yes, I think so. Clanky.
Oh, good. Hades. I remember liking the game when I played it. But I didn't fall in love with the gameplay the way everyone else did. So I think it just kind of sat in the back of my head as a game that I played and not really much else. But I will compliment Hades in the sense of its personality and everything is like it's so good. I really love the characters. I really love the style. I like the look of the game. It's just a shame that I don't like the gameplay as much. Maybe if I played it again, my opinion would change. But it's definitely a lot better than a game that I have no experience with at all, which is Final Fantasy VII. So I have to give it to Hades.
Okay. And Taylor.
Sada. Oh, sorry.
Final Fantasy VII, of course!
I had a brief stint where everything I said was backwards.
Don't you know if you transcribe all of the letters of Sada into numbers and transcribe them back into letters again and switch the languages 3 times, it comes out the Final Fantasy VII Remake?
All right, it's Hades because I want to stop this conversation.
And Mick for posterity.
I guess I'll vote for Hades.
All right.
Wipeouts.
Can you please play the ha 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 wipeout sound effects?
I can.
Yeah, he is going to run out of Hawaii 5-0 bits, so
it's okay. I'll find a way to make more.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
Oh, I get it, because it's 5-0.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Also, who is the sound an owl makes?
Yeah, I'm not doing that again.
Backstreet Boys.
This next one should be fun. We have Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, which is a Clanky pick, versus Project Wingman, which is a Graham pick. Who wants to go first?
Could I start this one?
Please.
Yes, of course.
Yes, you do.
It's one of the 2 games that became crazy after the pandemic, so I'm kind of glad it's on here. You have 8 minutes, hopefully. 3, 2, 1, go.
So I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, and I'll talk about that in a second, but I want to talk about this from the perspective of when it launched for a second, because when the game launched, it was very, very big and very popular, and I would, I was working at a camp at this point, like a summer camp, around the time it came out, and the only thing that kept me going through that summer camp job was the idea that I'd be able to go home and play Fall Guys with my friends. Because Fall Guys is probably the only Battle Royale game that I really, really got into. It's essentially a Battle Royale game where you're doing a series of platforming challenges or things similar to Mario Party minigames. And I really love Mario Party and I love platforming games, so Fall Guys really, really, struck a chord with me. The cracks start to show when you realize that Fall Guys didn't really have a lot to offer initially. And it took a really long time for them to roll out updates and everything for the game to add more levels, which kind of caused it to die, in my opinion. But that doesn't excuse the fact that when the game was really popular and just came out and everything, it was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed how many collabs they did in Fall Guys, because one of the big things that they had going on was there was like a costume every week of like a famous character that you recognize. Or at first it was famous, video game characters that are like obscure. Like there was a Gato Roboto costume, and there was like, I think Gris is the name of the game.
Probably.
There was a reference to a game called Grease.
I think it's Gris.
The John Travolta movie.
It's supposed to be the. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be the word like gray in Portuguese. However you pronounce that.
Grace.
Okay, got it. So Portuguese. So it was it started off with those obscure things, but then like later on you got characters like Sonic and Godzilla. Like the range that Fall Guys had was honestly pretty incredible. As far as like collabs go and everything.
They got fucking 2B from Nier Automata, like holy shit.
Did, yeah,
2B isn't everything now though, because 2B is sexy.
But 2B in Fall Guys, first of all, unequivocally not sexy, and also just really, really
Speak
cool.
for yourself, Christian.
I am not attracted by the Fall Guy beans, I swear to God.
I am allowed within 50 feet.
I think your body honestly.
So yeah, Fall Guys is an excellent game. It kind of started to die off when they kind of ran out of steam and ran out of content to make the game interesting. But then the game became free to play this year. And when it became free to play again, all of a sudden the game was very interesting again. I was playing it a lot more often because I had a bunch of levels that I hadn't experienced before, because we had 5 seasons previous, 5 seasons from like the previous years that like were added on top of the game, plus all the new content that they added. So as of now, I would say that Fall Guys is finally, playable, but that is to say, it still has its issues. I see a lot of people like get glitched out of existence in this game. They'll fall and they'll just keep falling forever. So this game still has, like, in my opinion, a long way to go, and it's a shame because it's 2 years old. But I can't deny that when the game was popular and when it first came out and when it went free to play, I really, really got into it. I have over 100 hours on Steam, so that's got to count for something.
But Clanky, when you say it fell out of it, like when it stopped becoming relevant, like, do you mean that, like, it just wasn't relevant on the internet anymore? Because, like, I wouldn't believe that if you ever wanted to play it, you couldn't get people to play it.
It was more so our friend group lost interest in playing it, I think.
And not only that, but I would say that, like, the internet definitely lost interest in it, too. I mean, it's like, I guess you could say that with, like, any game, but I feel like Fall Guys didn't have the staying power. I would say that Fall Guys didn't have the staying power that other, popular Battle Royales had, like Fortnite, for instance.
I do think actually is Among Us that kind of had something to do with it, because I feel like it was only a few weeks after Fall Guys launched it, Among Us blew up.
That's
and
true.
I think a lot, there was a lot because
How funny
it was
bean
just
game.
yeah, like
Yeah.
beans, like they're vaguely similarly shaped, and plus Among Us, anyone with a phone could play it. Versus
Yeah.
Fall Guys, where you had to buy it at first, or like
Fall
me,
Guys...
I got it through PS Plus. They had that like literally like the month that released. Fun story. I remember like me and my dad, like we were staying in our house, and like they just put concrete on the lower floor, so we were staying at home while my mom and grandma went like to the hotel, and I had my PlayStation up in like the main room. Like I see my dad coming up, like talk to me about something, and I'm playing Fall Guys, and the look of confusion on his face.
Look,
I don't know why the way you described that reminded me. There's the one Scott the Woz bit where the thing about is like, you know, I always wanted to play that, but I feel like someone's gonna catch me when I'm playing it. Is that pose me?
Yeah.
Like Fall Guys to a non-believer is like completely ridiculous.
Yeah. But anyway, since I'm already talking,
Yeah,
actually, sorry, Graham. Before you,
unless there's anything else to say, yeah, go ahead.
One last thing. So sorry. Even though Fall Guys was the first of my honorable mentions, I cannot understate the impact that Fall Guys had for me when it was honestly, it was my game of 2020. When 2020 ended, Fall Guys was my game of the year, and like I just have distinct memories of putting on some music, playing some Fall Guys by myself, playing through the thing, getting good, and like I don't know. It's just it's a core memory for me. It's a very core feeling, and so I have a lot of love for Fall Guys.
Okay.
Now you can go, Graham.
Project Wingman.
All right. So, Project Wingman is a game that was made because a bunch of Ace Combat fans were like, you know, we're waiting so long for this game to come out, like the next Ace Combat game. We're gonna form our own studio and release an Ace Combat game. You'll notice that Ace Combat release was in last year's bracket, which maybe proves that it kind of takes a while to make a Ace Combat game. But nonetheless, this game, the best way I can describe it is Ace Combat turned up to 11. The story of the game is it's set 400 years after the Yellowstone supervolcano. The best way I described it was had enough. And detonated and basically sent humanity into a dark age. And we're 400 years after that, where we're just getting back to like our level of technology, like with jets, but also because of a new element that was created called cordium, new super weapons are able to be created. Like there's sky ships in the game, which are literally just like naval ships, but in the sky.
But in the sky.
You play as a member of a mercenary team who is under contract by a nation who has just started a formal rebellion against the Globe-Trotting Federation that has basically controlled all the cordium, like going on ever since. And yeah, like a great way for me to describe the difference between a normal Ace Combat game and this game is that in an Ace Combat game, the first plane you get, you can carry like 40 missiles, and that is usually enough. In Project Wingman, you get 120.
Really, that's the comparison you want to make between the two differences of these franchises. In one franchise, you can hold 40 missiles. In this franchise, you can hold 3 times as many.
Yes.
Thanks,
I don't think these games are very different.
I said they're Ace Combat games. You're like, let's make our own Ace Combat game. I don't know what you want from me. This is probably the only. This is probably
more
the only
missiles, apparently.
This is also the only, as far as I know, jet fighting game where you have to deal with lava damage. Because again, Yellowstone, like there's a lot of
400 years ago, though.
Yeah,
like it's
it's still going. Well, because here's the thing: cordium also can make the core a little bit more unstable, which happens a few times in the story. In fact, I will talk about, similar to how I've talked about other Ace Combat games, I will talk about the final boss here because it needs to be mentioned.
Hang on, Greg, can I ask a question?
Yes. Yes.
Is there character in the game? Because you said it's like an Ace Combat game, but more.
There's not a game with a longer name.
I was gonna say, does he have a name 3 times as long?
Unfortunately, no.
Graham, if you're about to talk about the final boss, then Jordan, can you just put a quick timestamp to the vote for this round?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In fact, can I click on that vote? Can I click on that link right now?
You just want to skip voting, or you do not want to hear final boss?
I'm saying for spoiler reasons, we should just.
Sounds like Mick doesn't want to hear it.
I just don't care.
Oh.
I'm joking. Wow. I'm joking. You can
wow.
Okay. No, I meant for people who are watching.
So, the final boss of this game, the final level, you finally reach like a ceasefire with the Federation, and then this one person who 3 missions ago you shot down, and because you dunked on him so hard, he may or may not have come back to life. He comes back and uses cordium to blow up the city on his own, and you have a fight with him, and this fucking incredible orchestral track is playing called Kings. Jordan played it.
Oh.
Yeah. His ship shoots out railguns, and he also shoots out shields that turn into railguns. It doesn't make sense, but it does. It's incredible. But yeah, and there's stuff like that. And there's also very quickly, this game just has more boss fights in it than something I would want from more Ace Combat 7. They all have like really cool like title cards that come up. And just one little last thing on the music. The music probably is one of the best pairings of music and just what the developers are trying to go for in terms of setting like the theme that I've like ever seen. Like every single music track fits the level it was designed for perfectly.
Wow.
I feel like I've said all I can say.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm good.
We start with Christian.
If it wasn't Fall Guys being Fall Guys, I would have loved to give Project Wingman a chance. And maybe I will get to give it a chance later on, but for now, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout.
Mick.
Project Wingman. I mean, did the missile count? 120 missiles?
Yeah.
Like, how could I say no?
Also, you can hold up to 4 different types of missiles, which, like, some of them are only designed, they only kill ships.
Oh my god.
Specifically.
They are ineffective against everything else.
Yes.
You can shoot one at a child and he'll live, but a ship, it'll go down immediately.
Yes.
Oh my god. Clanky.
Fall Guys.
Yeah.
Of course. Graham.
It's really funny they go to Fall Guys, but no, Project Wingman.
Does Fall Guys have 120 missiles? I don't think so.
Taylor gets to break the tie.
Sorry, I can't.
Or not.
It's like it's not inherently that funny at all, but the fact that Mick called it out at all just makes me so.
The missiles?
And then Graham was like, "And there's 4 different types."
Yes. You don't like. I can't stress this enough that they're all different.
80 missiles.
Well, not all of them. You don't have 120 of all of them.
Oh,
like,
in that case, All Guys.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Wait, is that real?
Get a vote.
That decided what it was.
No, that's not real, is it?
I was always gonna vote for Fall Guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, excuse me.
Oh, but that made me laugh. Oh.
Wow. It's great when I throw the vote and Taylor's still like howling. So.
Oh, guys, laughing feels really good. You should try it.
I try.
It's mostly your fault.
Yeah.
Oh,
I really try.
Oh, there was inherently nothing funny about that statement, and yet I am.
Project Wingman. I mean, look at 120 missiles? I mean, how can I pass that up?
Yeah.
I mean,
They should put that on the box. Like, fuck.
Like, the only other thing that was able to do that was Mario Stars.
I feel like I should point out the only reason I brought the 120 missiles was like as a comparison to Ace Combat to tell you what type of game it was. But
know.
this is funny.
Now
It's
I
got
know.
3 times as many missiles?
Yeah.
I'm just picturing 120 missiles as like the video game equivalent of like the 76 trombones from the
Yeah,
music.
I was gonna say 120 missiles is a band.
120 missiles.
No, not a song.
And they have four. They have 4 band members.
Parade.
We got 120 missiles coming in later.
Okay. On to 2 of the most highly anticipated games of the year 2020. And 2 of the most important games of the year 2020 going up against each other.
Isabel versus Keanu Reeves.
Yep. Animal Crossing New Horizons, which is a Clanky pick, versus Cyberpunk 2077, which is a Graham pick. Who wants to go first?
I would also, Graham, I know we both want to go first for this one, so I went first last time. I'll let you go first this time.
Okay. Graham is going to go first.
Cyberpunk.
I don't even know why I do it anymore. 3, 2, 1, go.
As I was talking with Christian very briefly while we were playing Halo Reach, the fact that Cyberpunk 2077 isn't on the 2020 bracket is shameful, because that is when the developers wanted it to release based on the scope of the project and their own experiences, but corporate management wanted to get it on as many consoles as possible. And I will also say that CD Projekt there's every single of the bad press that they got from releasing the game as it was. There's just a cascading effect of just bad management decisions, plus also the pandemic also messing with things that forced it to release as it was. However, as we have done in the past, if we are going to judge a game as it is currently, not as is released. I have recently played through Cyberpunk 27.
27?
Almost 2077.
There were 27.
Almost completely. I did every single side mission. I did every gig. I played basically as much of the game that wasn't literally just go here, shoot a person. Like I played like probably more of it than most people have, because I wanted to get to a specific ending where you had to almost be like highly level the entire level cap. And it is a good game. It is a game that is definitely a jack of all trades game, where it's not going to be the best at any one particular thing, but it's going to be pretty good at a lot of things. If you want to play it as a first-person shooter, it is a good first-person shooter. If you want to play it as a stealth game, it is a good stealth game. The hacking mechanics, I think, I really like. You have quick hacks, which are very like surface level things. Like you can make it so that way someone like just goes blind for a few seconds, or turn off a camera, or at higher levels you can make someone shoot themselves. The world of Cyberpunk, it draws along from like the long tabletop history, and adding to it like its own ways, like even making some like changes to it that the creator of Cyberpunk, Mike Ponksmith, like, yeah, you just had a better idea about than I did. And like the story itself is this very interesting tale of mortality and coming to terms with what effects your life will have in the world, if it will have anything at all. Your main protagonist, V, only has a few weeks left to live because they literally have Keanu Reeves, aka Johnny Silverhand, as almost like a virus overriding their brain and turning them into something else after a heist gone wrong. And Johnny, who spent all these years fighting like the mega corporation Night City, has to come to terms with the fact that, hey, 50 years later, not only did what I do not really make a difference, things are worse. And it's like this meeting of the road between someone who, just as they're about to start making their mark on the world, is having it cut short and having to fight just literally to survive, versus someone dealing with and making amends for their past. And also, Keanu Reeves is in it a lot more than you might think if you haven't played it. Almost like every single like little like mini.
I hope so. He posted that E3 presentation on it.
You have side missions, which are like more in-depth things, and you have gigs, which are you'll get a brief little bit of context for. You'll do something, and I was surprised how many like of these small little gigs that shouldn't really amount to much, like in a gameplay perspective. Keanu was just like, or Johnny Silverhand was like, yeah, he'll just comment on it and like make little like comments here and there. There's a side mission where you have to find out if someone's wife is cheating on them, and he narrates the whole thing like an old noir style, like hard boiled, like, oh, like her gait was the walk of a whatever. Yeah, and
you want to finish the sentence?
I don't think I couldn't finish it like in my head, so I'm just gonna abandon it.
Audacious babe.
Because
yeah,
for my presentation, it's her gait was.
Her gait was the walk of someone who is definitely disloyal, yeah. Like stuff like that. He
okay.
Narrates.
Well, when you don't finish the sentence, gate sounds like vagina.
Does it? What? To me, it sounded like gate, as in the yard gate, and that's what I was confused on first. I was like, what's up with her gate?
I'm not the best at having the brains travel through, having the word travel through my brain to my mouth. We know this. But yeah, like, and then that's not even getting into a lot of like the side characters. Like this game is like one of the few, like there'll be parts where you're driving along and you're like, you can ask the person questions, and then they'll ask questions back, which is not something you really see a lot in video games. It's usually video games.
What do you mean they ask questions back?
Yeah, they'll be like, hey, like, have you ever done anything? And you can choose like, you can basically choose like what your response is. Like it'll like because.
This is an exclusive feature to Cyberpunk? Because that's not true.
You can do that in lots of games, mate.
I don't know of a lot of games that do it.
Like any game with a conversation-based system, right? Like someone tell me I'm wrong.
No, but like a lot of them, it'll feel like you're talking to a repository. Like you'll ask. Like, for example, like if I'm playing Mass Effect, like there's very, very few instances where someone's like, hey, Shepard, have you dealt with anything like this before? And stuff like something like that.
I mean, Mick, help me out here. There are other games like this, right? Thanks, Mick.
Well, shit.
Is Mick underwater now?
Are you here? Oh no.
Oh no.
He got the Johnny Silverhand virus.
No.
Mick's dead.
Wake the fuck up.
Graham was saying how in Cyberpunk 2077, you characters ask questions back to you like that was an original thing. And I said to Mick, back me up here. That's not an exclusive to Cyberpunk thing, right?
What, that characters ask questions back to you?
Mm.
Yeah.
Like what? Hang on. What do you mean?
Well,
yeah, that's the.
Like, you'll be like, you'll ask a question, and then the person you're talking to will be like, so what about you? What about you with this? And you'll be given like a list of responses for you to give. Like I don't think I said like this is like the only game that's like ever done. I was like don't really see it a lot in other games. Like I can't remember like other games that like did it as Cyberpunk did.
I haven't played Cyberpunk, so I can't say because that just sounds fairly generic. Like that sounds how people interact with one another.
Yes,
and that's how games model human interaction.
I agree.
Games.
Kentucky Route Zero does it.
Okay, but I haven't played Kentucky Route Zero. But I'm saying like a lot of games like treat NPCs as more of like repositories where you'll go out to a person, ask, okay, this question, leave. Like, and they'll never be like, hey, why are you asking me these questions? I'm not saying, like, no, Cyberpunk doesn't do it all the time, but there are instances where it does happen, which is why I wanted to bring it up.
I kind of get what you mean, but not really.
It's hard to explain, like, without, like, people having, like, played it or stuff like that.
All right, well, look, Graham, in the spirit, I'll ask a question back to you. How many missiles can you carry in Cyberpunk 2077?
There's only one right answer.
I think quite a lot. You can get, like, a you can install like on your arm like a missile launcher.
How many different
How many
kinds?
missiles can it hold?
And how many different kinds?
Technically infinite because it's just a recharge.
Advantage.
Not even
27?
2077 missiles? Are you kidding me, Graham?
Um,
You're fucking fired.
I'll let the rest of my notes be set for the vote because Clanky needs to talk about Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
We really need to talk about Animal Crossing New Horizons because that game was fucking huge when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Graham, I'm gonna be nice because I know you really like Cyberpunk, but I hate Cyberpunk. I think it's a very bad game. But I'm not gonna talk about why that is unless I have to. But let me just talk about why I love Animal Crossing New Horizons. Everyone kind of said this in March, but it kind of really did come out at the perfect time. Right as the world was shutting down, everybody was basically, having to stay at home all the time and everything. And the perfect game to play when you're stuck at home all day is Animal Crossing New Horizons, a game that, in my opinion, does a lot of great things for the Animal Crossing series while taking a couple steps back. While it lost a lot of the character that a lot of other Animal Crossing games had, like New Leaf and the original and Wild World, it allowed for a lot more creativity. This is the first Animal Crossing game where you have full customization of your town, or in this case, your island, and it just does a lot for the creative types. If you want to make an island that looks like a bussing city, you can do that. If you want to if you want to do what Christian was going to do and make an entire island that's just flat with no defining features, you can do that as well.
What a Christian move.
But yeah, Animal Crossing New Horizons is a feel-good game. I talked about this a lot when we talked about New Leaf back in 2012. But New Horizons is a game that I would put in for about 3 months of, like, once a day, 3 months of my life, just to feel a little bit better about things that were going on. So it means, like, a lot to me personally. But I mean, with Animal Crossing, what you see is what you get. You do chores for your villagers. You collect things for your museum. You just kind of walk around and vibe for the day, and then you just kind of turn it off when you're done. And I just love the coziness that I feel when I play Animal Crossing New Horizons. It also has like a tutorial section, which I honestly think is interesting for an Animal Crossing game. What I mean by that is you're really limited by what you can do in the first couple days when you play it. And even though that might sound like a negative, Animal Crossing is a game that you're meant to be popping in for like an hour or two a day, then stopping, and then picking up again tomorrow, because there's new stuff to do tomorrow. So, like, it was very interesting because you didn't have access to a lot of the things at first. Like, you didn't even have your town hall. Once you get your town hall is when the game really, really opens up. But it does an excellent job of slowly working you up towards, that end goal, which is to be able to customize your island in any way you want. You have a couple of villagers, you can recruit more villagers, and that's not even to mention the crafting system that New Horizons introduced. If I'm being honest, I do dislike how necessary they tried to make crafting, because in this game, rather than buying the tools from Tom Nook's shop immediately, you have to craft them yourself. And at first it's very charming, but after a while when you're playing the game, it's just like, I'm just gonna go, and now that I upgraded the store, I'm just gonna go to the store and buy like the pink net, because I just need a net and I don't want to have to hunt for sticks to find it. But on the other side of things, it was also really nice to basically make your own furniture. You have this catalog of furniture that you get initially, and then by doing tasks for villagers, you get more furniture for this catalog, and you get to craft it yourself, find the materials, and really make a bunch of different things, which was awesome. And they have a lot of fun with the crafting too. It's not just like get wood to make wooden bench or whatever, like there's a lot of unique things in it. One of my favorite crafting things is if you have a stack of papers, you can craft it into a messy pile of paper, and then if you have the messy pile of paper, you can craft that into a neat stack of paper, and you can just keep doing that cycle forever. Yeah, so I don't know. It's just Animal Crossing New Horizons is a game that, I said this before, is very cozy. I really like playing it because it makes me smile and makes me happy. And there's not a lot of games that I can say that about 100%, because if a game is tough, I'm gonna get mad. Animal Crossing is not a game I get mad at, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna roast Cyberpunk 2077 because I'm
don't have time. I'm
gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm
Nah, I'll say all my things during voting.
All right, we should get to the vote then. We start with Mick.
Come back to me.
Okay, Clanky.
My favorite part of Cyberpunk 2077 is when the developer said that each one of the characters has an immersive life that you can actually watch go about their daily life, and they just walk around in a circle for like 3 hours. Anyway, I'm voting for Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Is that the Molyneux tactic of just making up absolute lies about what can be done?
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
I fully agree. Fully agree.
Start a Cyberpunk.
You can punk a family. Graham.
I really loved my time with Animal Crossing. Again, it's the perfect game for the perfect time. But 2 weeks ago, when I was replaying Cyberpunk, I had a lot of fun with it, so I'm voting for Cyberpunk.
Okay. Taylor.
I have a question for both Graham and Clanky. Graham, in The Witcher, which is another CD Projekt Red game, I found an immense amount of fun in the side content through playing Gwent and through the various mini games on a feature. Does Cyberpunk offer anything other than the shooting?
There is a mini game. It is not Gwent. It is basically it's a endless runner where you play as Roach and you have to jump over obstacles.
Okay, Clanky, how many missiles can you carry?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
know it.
This is kind of hard, right? Because like The Witcher told me that I like CD Projekt Red games. But Cyberpunk's world, despite being a contemporary setting, which I should like way more than The Witcher, does not capture me in the way that it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing is a game I have to play every day. And to Clanky's credit, he said he played it for 3 months and was able to stop. And I'm experimenting with that right now, so it's doable. How many hours a day did you have to play, Clanky?
Like, it's not really a lot, Like, there are some days where you want to play for, like, 5-6 hours in a sitting, but for the most part, you're sitting down for an hour or two, finishing your tasks, getting what you need to get done.
But, like, if you play for 5 to 6 hours, will you have value that time, or is it like when you run out of your daily objectives, do you just, like...
If you're crafting stuff for your islands and trying to decorate, yeah, you can easily get immersed in that.
Can I still work on making money, or is it, like, all my means to make money, like...
No, so you can actually go to, you can buy these tickets that bring you to random islands, and those random islands are, like, ripe for foraging and picking up, like, different fruits and different, flowers and stuff that you can then bring back to your place to sell. Or different, like, rare bugs. Sometimes you can find rare bugs there, too.
Oh, my favorite.
Yeah, come back to me.
Okay. Christian.
Animal Crossing New Horizons.
There we go. Mick, back to you.
Animal Crossing.
Okay. Taylor?
So it doesn't matter? It's Animal Crossing?
It's Animal Crossing.
Oh.
You know what, Animal Crossing? I'll say Animal Crossing.
Okay, 4-1. Cool. All right.
It's a very close one.
All right.
And I probably regret the choice.
Well,
It'll have a chance.
Okay. Yeah. Moving on. We have Deep Rock Galactic, which is a Mick pick, versus Doom Eternal, which is a Taylor pick. Who'd like to go first?
Mick, you can go or I can go. I don't care.
Yes, that's the question.
So, I think we all know what Doom Eternal is, so I guess I'll go first because I don't think most of you know what Deep Rock Galactic is.
All right, I'm going to start the timer.
It sounds like I'd love it.
Starting timer, go.
So, Deep Rock Galactic is, despite the name, it doesn't actually take place in space.
Oh.
Now I don't think I'd like to play it then.
Alright, so Deep Rock Galactic is a game in which you play as dwarves.
Good.
Future dwarves. In space.
You just said it doesn't take place in space!
Well, it takes place in, like, the actual gameplay doesn't take place in space. So, the premise of this game is that you play as a dwarf, and you go into distant asteroids and planets, but not like, you don't go on the surface. You just dig down, collect as many minerals as possible, and then leave. Unfortunately, every single one of these planets is inhabited by hordes and hordes of weird insect aliens. And so the goal is basically you and 4 friends play as dwarves. You go in, mine minerals, fight bugs, rinse and repeat.
A lot of bugs today.
My kind of games. 2020's looking up for me.
I've seen that this game is a procedurally generated cave game, and I immediately understand why.
Well, to be honest with you, that's a green flag for me as well. Honestly.
Yeah, you play as you go into caves, you mine minerals, you fight bugs, and it's a really fun game to play with friends. And there's a lot of shenanigans to be had when you're doing that. But also, it's an intense game. I'm trying to think of what else to say. I mean, there's not really too much else to say about it. It's a procedurally generated game, so you just constantly go back and do more mining, fight more bugs.
Cave game.
Yeah.
Again,
you mine, you fight bugs, rinse, repeat. Now, I should say, the goal isn't always mining, but mining is like the primary thing you'll do, and everything is sort of based around mining, but sometimes it's like, you need to collect this much of this mineral, or you need to find these specific minerals, or you need to collect these alien eggs, or you need to... Sometimes it is like a, go here and kill this, or we're gonna drill for oil, defend the oil rig. And then, but except actually you have to set up the oil rig and you have to set up all the pipes, and you can grind on the pipes a la like Sonic the Hedgehog and slide around them. You can get drunk.
Oh, that's it. I know where my vote's going.
This game just sounds better and better. Like I thought this was just funny pickaxe to rock game.
Mick,
Alcoholism should not be the selling point.
Or just like, fuck it.
So when I play this game, we used to both like get drunk in character while I drank IRL.
Okay, cool. That was gonna be my next question.
So is this a good game to listen to music to while you play?
Oh, 100%. I used to set up I actually had like a Pandora playlist that I listened to.
Oh, nice.
Or like a Pandora station that I listened to while playing the game.
I mean, that's a question you could ask about any game, though.
But some games aren't as good for that because they have great soundtracks on their own, or they're not as atmospheric.
Also, like Kentucky Riot Zero, you would never want to listen to something because it's so focused on its atmosphere.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I would say it's more about narrative-focused games versus...
Yeah.
If any of you listen to music while playing Omori, I'd kill you.
Yeah. Yeah, but no. Like, this is a great game to just, like, throw on some meatloaf and just mine and kill bugs, too.
Nice. All right, we're
Throw
at the
on some
format.
meatloaf.
Okay, yeah. Now, I'm obviously talking about the music artist.
Paradise down
However,
by the dashboard.
yeah, but it sounds really funny and out of context. Like, if you don't know who Meatloaf is, that sounds really funny.
Mick, throw on the meatloaf.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And the missile count, how many?
Oh, missile count? Oh, plenty.
All right. Okay. Good.
I'm glad everyone's
All
giving
right.
like honest answers for the missile count thing instead of appealing to
I
the joke,
respect
which
it.
is good.
This helps me have an accurate readout.
Yeah.
We're more than halfway. We should probably shift to Doom Eternal.
So, why is Doom Eternal back? Because we talked about Doom 2016. I actually wanted to omit Doom 2016 because I specifically wanted to talk about Eternal. Here is, I think, the main difference between those two games. Doom Eternal is like the Celeste or like Super Meat Boy equivalent of Hard But Fair Challenge within its genre. I feel like if like Doom 2016 is like this cathartic rip and tear. I mean, they're both the same concept, but there is a dance to Doom Eternal in how many different tools you have, and whereas in Doom 2016 you can get away with not having to use a lot of stuff because the game immerses you with ammo. Doom Eternal is a game that you have to use every single tool in your arsenal. Mick, you say that BioShock Infinite is only fun on hard. Doom Eternal built its game around having to use every tool on the normal difficulty setting. I came so close to having to make this game easy because I was having such a difficult time, but once you get into the rhythm of Doom Eternal, it becomes one of the most rewarding experiences you ever have. And
you want to track the worm. Ignore me.
And I try. And I'm not a first-person shooter guy, so that I got this rewarding sense of challenge out of this experience was really surprising to me. Other than that, like, yeah, the flow is great, the challenge is great. Other than that, it's more Doom 2016, which was already great. It just adds a lot more great features. Graham, I was listening back to the 2016 release, and Graham has some problems.
Yes.
The platforming. I think the platforming is great. Admittedly,
Here's why you're wrong.
I've since played Neon White, and that's the best first-person platformer. If I went back to Doom Eternal now, maybe I would notice a difference. But I actually thought the platforming was fun. I felt very free in my movements, and I felt like it helped with the flow and the dance. My only problem with Doom Eternal is that it made the story relevant. I had to pay attention again.
That's a problem?
Well, because Doom
For
2016,
Doom, kinda.
I don't know.
I can see
that
why
sounds
that would
fun.
be a problem for Doom.
Well, because here's the thing. I won't tell you what happens in Doom 2016, but Doom Eternal, like Doom 2016 ends on a cliffhanger, and Doom Eternal doesn't tell you what happened. You start Doom Eternal, and it's like, well, this is very clearly not picking up where Doom 2016 left off. Are you going to explain what happened? And it doesn't. Maybe there's some text that explains it. I'm sure if I look, they will. But as far as your linear experience with the game, you're not. They don't really tell you, and I don't like that. And it makes it like I shouldn't care, but I do. But other than that, it's a great time.
Good.
So here's the thing with the platforming. I think it's less the platforming itself, and more that the game design had to change to fit the platforming. I bought Doom Eternal again for my PC a few months ago because after Rising Revengeance, I wanted to play another maximalist game. And I was like, oh, I'll give Doom Eternal a shot. And on the second level, I remember specifically there was a point where I had to figure out where the platforming was supposed to go, where do I go next? And it killed the pacing for a solid I want to say 2 minutes versus Doom 20.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, but in a Doom game, that's very important. And I know going further, it's going to be more of this and this. I don't really feel like the platforming adds a lot to it.
I think it creates momentum. I think it creates that dance I was talking about. I feel like you flow more than you could in the original because of those added abilities.
Yeah, but when I'm in Doom, it's all right. It's now here comes the part where I have to jump on platforms. I'm this is supposed to be Doom. This is not giving the same adrenaline pump that I was getting for Doom 2016.
I disagree. I just disagree.
Yeah, the only thing I will give Doom Eternal this absolutely 100% is a great addition was I forget the other names, but the other slayers that you come across, the little mini bosses, that felt very good. Those felt very good to fight. Other than that, but I do think as I said back in the 2016 Yearlies, I think or not 2016, 2015, whatever year it was. I do think Doom as a series is something that definitely it benefits simultaneously from less is more, and also being very big and and loud, and yeah, but it's a very delicate balance that it has, because like I said, the story, there's more of a story, there's a whole level where there's no enemies, and I'm normally I think I will give him credit for taking a step out of the box.
Can I just ask, Jordan, how are you doing that time?
Oh,
Yeah,
we're well past it.
Oh, I'm sorry. We'll vote. Let's skip whatever I had to say. Let's go to voting.
You'll have time to say your things that you want to say.
Okay. If we want to go to the vote, then Mick.
Obviously, I'm gonna vote for,
Doom Eternal.
Deep Rock Galactic.
Okay. Clanky is next. Yeah.
This is tough, because
I should also actually. Can I just? I do want to say something. Just for just for like transparency's sake. Deep Rock Galactic is also like a first-person shooter in terms of gameplay. I just want to make that clear.
It's tough because these are both games that I'd seem like I'd be interested in, especially because I really loved Doom 2016. Yeah, all right, I'll give it to Doom Eternal.
Okay. Graham.
After all that, I've played Doom Eternal.
Which makes that whole bit entirely pointless.
I'm being honest.
Okay. Good. Taylor.
Graham and I had such a Mick and Taylor moment just now where like we both like Doom Eternal and Graham's like the first person platforming sucks and I'm like that's my favorite part and Graham's like I love the mini bosses and I didn't get to say this but that's my least favorite part. Doom Eternal.
Wow. And Christian.
Well, this makes me feel less bad because now I don't have to have this difficult situation here because I was kind of split between these two. I'm gonna vote for Deep Rock Galactic because. Yeah, you fight bugs and asteroids. It sounds pretty cool.
Cool. All right. 3-2. Okay. Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, which is a Mick pick.
Could you believe it?
Let me get my stopwatch.
No.
Here we are.
Why is it a surprise?
It's a platformer.
Versus Bugsnax, which is basically a Christian pick. Who wants to go first?
I'd like to go first.
Okay. Taylor will go first in 3, 2, 1, go.
Webster's Dictionary defines Bugsnax.
I don't care what with some square named Webster defines Bugsnax as.
So, here's the deal. Crash Bandicoot 4 is the payoff. If 2017's The Insane Trilogy set the precedent for an era of remakes, the idea was that these remakes were supposed to spark back interest in these franchises and create new games. Crash Bandicoot 4 is that game, and it is wonderful. Crash Bandicoot 4 is, from a strictly linear, start-to-finish storyline experience, not going after any extras, just playing the levels, is the best Crash game. There are 4 masks that each offer a different ability, and they never outstay their welcome, and they're all used in ways to enhance the gameplay experience. There are new playable characters that are introduced just frequently enough to keep the game fresh, even though it didn't even need them. You could have had the game fresh one way or the other.
Dingo Dial.
Dingo fucking Dial. He runs a diner now.
Dingo Dial Diner.
The story is really fun. There are these specifically there are these flashback 2D platforming tapes where you like specifically have these box breaking challenges. Crash Bandicoot 4. It's
about time.
It's about fucking time. The only problem with Crash Bandicoot 4 is do not, and I cannot stress this enough, do not 100% this game. Just do not do it, because this game is evil if you try to 100% this game. The developers are so mean about breaking boxes. 100%ing Crash game generally means breaking every box in a level and getting a gem. And in this game, they are so fucking proud of how well they're hiding their boxes in ways that are just not fucking fair, that you're going to spend 30 minutes beating a level, realize you missed one box, and then find out that the box is behind another stack of boxes and it had an arrow jumping up to a box 30 feet above the ceiling that you were never going to find on your first run because you just want to break boxes. But it's great. It's a great game. That's all I have to say. I'd love to know why Mick put it on here.
Yeah, Mick, why did you put it on here?
Because I love Crash.
Okay.
Crash fan.
I'm a huge Crash fan. The first video game I ever, the first console video game I ever played was a Crash game.
I guess you can say Mick is a Fandicoot.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
You're Bandicoot.
I want to shake your Handicoot.
We need to stop. It's time to stop.
Time to stop a coot. All right.
That I was thinking it. I just didn't know if it would work.
Thank you,
Nick,
Taylor.
By all means, continue.
But yeah, I haven't played it. I own it, but I haven't gotten a chance to play it yet. But yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it because I love Crash.
Yeah.
Hey, it's about time.
Dude, it's about time. Also, you can play as Dingo Dial. How am I gonna pass that up?
Dingo
Literally
Dial.
Dingo Dial.
Okay. We're nearing the 4-minute mark. Christian, Bugsnax.
Kind of bug, kind of snack. Some people who haven't played this game would be quick to compare it to Pokemon. I would say this game is most specifically
Hang on,
like
you mean Pokemon Snap, right?
It's most specifically like Pokemon Snap. It's a game by Young Horses, their next game since Octodad Deadliest Catch, where you walk around colorful environments and use your wide arrangement of tools to capture wonderfully wacky creatures known as Bugsnax. Now, how do you capture these Bugsnax? Well, you use your wide variety of tools. My tools in my toolbox.
I need my tools!
Such as a traditional trap net that can catch Bugsnax inside of it, a jump pad that is so satisfying to use that can launch literally anything that's put on top of it, a tripwire that you can set up across the arena or wherever you're catching Bugsnax. You just set a tripwire for them to trip on and they go oops. A slingshot which can shoot various sauces like chocolate and hot sauce to appeal to or make other Bugsnax dislike things. There's a strawbee inside of a ball that you can use to push Bugsnax out of holes or lure other Bugsnax to other locations by covering it in sauce. There's a snack grappling hook that can swipe stunned snacks right out of the sky, and of course, your trusty net to catch any and all form of snacks. The best part about all of these items is that you can use them in such creative ways and combine them with each other and the environment to get some super interesting snack catches. Want to catch Exactly. Want to catch a Cheepoof that's flying around in one fell swoop? Put your trap on the launch pad and take the trap to it! You can also put your Buggy Ball in conjunction with the launch pad, that's the strawberry inside the ball, to create a homemade cannonball to just launch at Bugsnax indiscriminately for no reason. You can also lure another Bugsnax onto the launch pad and use that as a cannonball. There are so many different ways to do this. Want to get a Scoopy Banoopy, a snack that is typically a frozen sundae? Purposely set your tripwire on fire and then use the chocolate sauce to lure the unsuspecting Banoopy right into your net. Want to catch a Spuddy for some reason? Well, just get another Spuddy, make them both pissed at each other, and make them smash into each other. Once concussed, they can be grabbed. However,
once concussed,
that's not all, because most Bugsnax in the game have multiple solutions, just from you utilizing the tools in effective ways. You can catch a Sandopede later in the game by using the tripwire, the easy way for squares. Or you can make it so the Sandopede collides with another Bugsnax, like an Inchwrap. Using sauces, you can lure the Inchwrap over to where the Sandopede passes over, and you can knock them into each other, giving you both Sandopedes and Inchwraps. You can also, like a square, use the tripwire to catch a barbecue bunker. But you can also cover that bunker in ketchup, attracting other nearby Spuddies to attack and stun the bunker. You can use cheese to lure a Scorpio into a puddle of water, or you can do an amazing trick shot using a trap on a launch pad to snatch the Scorpio right off the wall.
Christian.
I have caught so many snacks using launch pad shenanigans, it is fantastic. And I shit you not, because of the way that this game works with the names of the Bugsnax and the things that you use, this is an actual sentence that I said during the game. I said this out loud. I put the egg roll on the Stoodler, and once I launch the on-fire egg roll across the map, I'll be able to melt the ice and catch the egg roll. I said that out loud for people to hear. The characters are so lovable, like the actual non-Bugsnax characters are so lovable, and everything you would expect from Young Horse's sense of humor. One character literally chastises another character for their toxic behavior by saying, "This is why your wife left you," just to give a vibe as to how this game is written. The music is chill and wonderful, with a main theme performed by British indie pop band Cara Cara Bonita. There are boss monsters in the game, which combine several different uses of your tools, and little cutscenes, and it's all of this wonderful spectacle for each of these. Does anyone care about spoilers?
Yes.
I do.
You're also almost out of time.
I know. I literally 20 past 4. So I'm just going to end it off by saying this is, everyone get your drinks ready. Drinks ready, cool, awesome. My 65th favorite game of all time, and I knew as soon as I played it that it deserved a spot amongst my favorite list. And one thing that this game has over Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, is that this game is perfectly fine to 100%. Take that!
Okay. I miss my wife, Tails. I miss her a lot.
Why my wife left me.
That's my Bugsnax pitch that I wrote out for you all.
Decent pitch.
Well,
let me just say, the act of playing Crash Bandicoot 4 normally is an amazing time. You don't have to 100% every game. I'm just saying I did it, and I didn't, and I wish I did. And I technically didn't.
Wait, you actually did it?
No, I actually did. I 100% like you can get all the gems in the regular round, and then you have to do it again in the reverse levels. I didn't do it in the reverse levels.
Oh, okay. I was gonna be like, you madman, you did it?
No, I thought I was going to, and then I'm like, you know what? I like life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any other comments or anything?
I will answer all questions about Bugsnax.
I have one thing to say, and that's Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time stole the subtitle from Plants vs. Zombies 2 It's About Time, and that's all I have to say.
It's true.
Damn.
Unplayable.
Okay.
Unplayable.
But Crash Bandicoot 4, it has multiple meanings.
Same with Plants vs. Zombies 2.
Plants vs. Zombies.
Oh, Plants vs. Zombies 2, it's actually about time?
Yes.
You literally time travel, yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Okay. Shifting to the vote, if we're all good. Mick.
Crash.
Okay. Clanky.
Can we skip me?
Yes. Graham.
Either of these games have missiles.
Crash probably, yeah, Crash does, I believe.
Yeah, it does.
I don't think Bugsnax has it.
I hate missiles and voting for Bugsnax.
Fuck you!
Get
Fuck
pranked!
Wait, doesn't Bugsnax also have missiles though?
I don't think so.
For
Project
legal purposes,
Wingman is
that was
canceled.
For legal purposes, that was a joke. I was probably good. I was going to vote for Bugsnax.
Okay.
Right, of course. Taylor.
It's about time we vote for Crash.
Christian. Yeah,
kind of vote Bugsnax.
And Clanky gets to break up the tie, I think.
The tie? God damn it. The problem is that I really want to play both of these games really badly. I love Crash. Crash Insane Trilogy was fantastic. But Bugsnax is like kind of bug and kind of snack.
What did you just say to me?
You can collect Wumpa Fruit in Crash 4, which is a snack.
I can collect Scoopy Banoopies in Bugsnax.
And then if you don't collect the Scoopy Banoopy right, he explodes.
And then you have to clean up the debris.
I hope to do this one right in the losers bracket. I'm voting for Bugsnax.
Yes! I didn't think it was gonna happen. I thought Omori was gonna be the only one to win a round. Holy shit!
What happens in a universe where only Mick and I are voting for a Crash Bandicoot game?
Yeah. Probably looks a lot like this universe.
Yeah.
This is true.
Great. Okay. And finally, and I know you were all clamoring for the moment where this happened. It is Spelunky 2, which is a Christian pick, versus my wild card, due to lack of any other better ideas, Spider-Man Miles Morales. Who wants to go first?
Well, if no one else is offering, I'll go first again. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I didn't go first last time. Okay.
It's okay.
So Spelunky
Chris?
2, I have the least.
Go.
Yes, sorry. I have the least to say about Spelunky 2, but I still have quite a bit to say about it. Spelunky 2 is one of the funniest games ever made. And it's not even a comedy game. To give a short pitch, Spelunky 2 is a roguelike indie game where you descend deeper and deeper into an underground cave system, fighting strange creatures, mythological beings, and your own sweating fingers. It's in a 2D style. You hop on enemies, collect treasure in caves. You have 7 different routes and secret floors you can take with 50 prerequisites for 4, and it's the perfect game to discover new things each time you play. Like, so many different routes and options, and it's incredible. What makes this roguelike a bit different from games like Risk of Rain 2 or The Binding of Isaac is how close you are to death at all times, no matter how prepared you are. You could have 10 health, which is a lot of health for Spelunky standards, every item in the game, and more money than you know what to do with, and you can still be shot by a Lamassu in Neo Babylon and get crushed by a moving block, dying instantly, all of which happening over the course of 1 second.
Jordan, can you resend that? I do not know what any of those words mean.
I do not know
Yes.
what any of those words mean.
This is what makes Spelunky so special. It is a comedic timing simulator, with strong similarities to Rube Goldberg machines of suffering. The instant you say, "I think everything is safe," that is when you fall just enough to get stunned, so a Yeti can walk over to you and throw you against the wall in an infinite loop until you die. There is no situation where placing a bomb contains anything but fear, and the instant you think this bomb won't do any harm, you release a lava pool that falls directly into a shopkeeper's shop, causing him to charge after you with a shotgun for near instant kill damage. Even when everything is safe, you have all the contingencies you need. You can just take one step and trigger a bear trap you didn't see, ending your run very unceremoniously. Yet, despite how many times you end up dying in the last level to a zapping block, it just ends up being really funny, because you never die when you actually expect it. This also makes the moments when you can blaze through the game's secrets, texts, and tricky moments that much more invigorating. There are so many secrets in this game that you slowly piece together, doors and places you need to figure out where to go, items you only get under particular circumstances. The process to reaching the true final area involves steps that you have to take, like extra steps besides reaching the goal, in every single stage of the game. So every new level you go to, you have to take extra new steps, like get the key in this treasure chest and leave with this key. Take the bow challenge to make sure you find the bow in the little labyrinth that this person is holding. Get the... You know what? I'm not even going to describe the rest of it, but it's... And the best part is this game has branching paths. So if you want to get to the final area of the game using one of two different methods, you can choose which one is easier. Do I want to go to Dracula's castle, or do I want to fight the giant turtle? You know?
As you know, you're off presented in most games.
Yeah. It's literally those two are not in the same branch, but does an example of a branch. It's either fight Dracula or go to the black market. Those are the actual two. There are also side quests that are completely unrelated to endgame requirements that you can do for fun. Most subfloors have mini subquests you can do just for extra gold and goodies. Like, in the first floor, you can give turkeys back to a turkey man, or you can save the children of the forest in the jungle by pushing blocks out of the way so they can leave. But sometimes you can just abandon these quests and say, for example, commandeer a turkey of your own, which makes for an excellent early game mount that you can use to actually fight things. This game is filled to the brim with exploration and wonder and so much death and destruction, but even that has the emotional punch of a meaty whoopee cushion, even when the game is making sure you get hit by a skeleton in a bone pile that launches you into a sandbag trap, pushing you off a cliff into a sacrificial altar where you accidentally sacrifice yourself. Also, we have co-op. Full gameplay at the same time, whip your teammates, affect shit as a ghost. Co-op. The last thing I have in my notes here is, I once saw a shopkeeper named Garth, and he ran Garth's Goods.
Room service. Sorry, force of habit.
Yeah.
And that's everything I have to say about Spelunky 2.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna make this very easy. You guys like Spider-Man?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay. Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Wait, who?
Spider-Man Miles Morales is Spider-Man, the 2018 game. It's a little shorter, and the combat's a little better.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay, but sell me on the Spider-Man.
He has
Well.
all the exaggerated swagger.
I mean,
I can't believe the developers actually said that.
It wasn't developers, it was the IGN review, I believe.
Was it the IGN review? Okay, I thought it was the developer commentary.
Spider-Man Morales.
Sorry, hang on. It was a GameSpot review.
Right.
I can't. I'm sorry for defaming IGN like that.
Spider-Man Miles Morales is a smaller scale game than the original Spider-Man by design. This is meant to be a holdover title in between Spider-Man 1 and 2. They are not shy about that. They specifically advertised it as such. They reduced the price as a result. It is still an immense value because you can still get 15 to 20 hours of gameplay out of it, not even counting a New Game Plus run. It is a ton of fun. The same great storytelling, same great Spider-Man. Ultimately, it's the same map, and it's a lot of the same abilities and a lot of the same stuff, but I still think there's a ton of value in playing it. Some things I like even more than it. It's a great game. There's just not a whole lot new to say about it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just add that, because this goes into the eternal conundrum of my wildcard picks here, is that I feel like I'm as someone without a lot of video game knowledge, I'm very much like an AI just trying to learn about traits from what's put on these brackets and what do well in these brackets. And I'm very much.
I mean, I'm happy to help.
I think Miles Morales is a good choice in that respect.
No, but if you let me explain, my wild cards are indicative of that. I'm like, okay, Jackbox Party Pack did well in last bracket. I'm going to put up use your words for the next one, and then that doesn't do well, and I'm like, well, why? I mean, this did well last time. Or okay, Pokemon Go games do really well here. I'm playing on Pokemon Go. Why didn't that do well? So what I'm doing with Miles Morales is I'm following the sort of pattern. Okay, Spider-Man did really, really, really well the last time it was on here. Why don't I put on Spider-Man Miles Morales? According to the pattern, it might do well. And of course, I know how my wildcard picks go, and it might not. So I just wanted to let you know how I think and why my wildcards are doomed to fail like that, because I'm very much trying to follow the patterns based on a lot of how these brackets go.
Okay. I'm just trying to be objective as I pitch it. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one here who has beaten the game. I know a couple of other people here have played it. None of what I'm saying is a detrimental thing, because Spider-Man is such a good thing. And actually, I like Miles Morales on here more than a lot of other games, specifically because it's more Spider-Man. And that's awesome. Like, when I played Spider-Man Miles Morales, it was like a couple of years after I had played 2018. And the second I get back into web swinging, I'm like, I'm back, baby. We're back. And it feels so good. And it does. Spider-Man is one of those games where I don't want to fast travel, because all I want to do is fucking swing around. Miles Morales does everything I want. I mean, some people might like it more, because the combat, like I said before, you have these new Venom powers, and I think they accentuate the combat in really meaningful ways. They give you some really nice area of effect attacks, fun, like, quick charge ways. I think it adds a lot of value to it. You're not as berated by J. Jonah Jameson because you also listen to a new podcast with a woman who actually likes you. So it's less toxic.
Someone consider that a detriment, because I want.
Yeah, I consider that a detriment.
No. You get both of them.
I still consider that a detriment.
I
J.
want
Jonah
all
Jameson
J.
is very
Jonah
much
Jameson.
there. Very much he is there.
I was about to say a joke that was going to get cut.
Yeah, so
At least you know now.
yeah, we're out of time.
Yeah. Unless there's anything else to say about either of these, should we get to the vote?
Let's do it.
Okay, Mick.
I mean, Christian, your opening line was the game in which you go into caves.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Also, I don't like Miles Morales. He has too many fucking powers. It really pisses me off how he can turn invisible and has electricity. It's like...
But he can't do it on command.
No.
It doesn't matter!
Unless you're playing a video game where you press a button to do it on command.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's still too many fucking powers.
I was doing it into the Spider-Verse.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm voting for Spelunky.
Yes, I figured. Clanky.
This is another tough one. I'll give it to I'll give it to Spelunky.
Of course you will.
This is not what my projections said would happen.
No, but it's a wild card pick. Graham is next.
Spider-Man.
Look, if you voted for Spelunky, I'd rip all my hair out. Like, that'd be fucking crazy.
Taylor.
Spider-Man, of course.
All right, Christian, go ahead, kill it.
Spelunky 2.
Yeah.
Look, I didn't expect it either, you know?
It's not dead yet.
Mick.
It's dead. It's dead. I just noticed what it's going up against.
Oh, God.
Miles, look at the pretty flowers.
Fuck.
I don't want to do a wild card pick anymore.
I think we should make a rule that Jordan...
You won!
I think Jordan, for the next Yearlies, should pick the wild card first again.
I mean...
It'll still lose.
I don't think it mattered, because we had all ours spoiled. I don't think he knew what was on the bracket.
Fair.
Look, Jordan, you remember when Civ 5, when Civ 6 went on, and then everyone's like, it's not Civ 5, and it came in last?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's what I do. It's like when we talk about something another time, it's like, well, what more is there to say? And there's nothing wrong with it. I like Miles Morales a ton, and I'm actually very bummed that it may not do well, because I think it's great, and it's one of my favorite experiences that I played this year.
I should just get another person to do wild card picks.
No,
Look, the last time we got another person to do wild cards, Wix, we got a fantasy football game that nobody could find.
Yeah, you are the
Okay.
reliable
Well,
wild card
Jordan,
picker.
You can do the wild cards.
Stress enough. Stanley Parable 1.
Well, I put that on there because I kind of knew it would run.
And last time Mini Metro did okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on.
The phrase
Phasmophobia.
Applebee'sness just came into my head, and I just found it very humorous.
It's a humorous phrase.
It has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do with apples.
Good
There's
for you,
nothing to do with
Mick.
bees. Nothing to do with her. Phasmophobia versus Clubhouse Games 50.
50 hum.
So, 50 what?
I don't know. I just assumed that it was a Roman numeral.
50 anything need to be said about either of these?
In Phasmophobia, in the lobby, because the game has physics, you can play Jenga. And you can bowl, because they have like a little bowling thing set
Can't
up.
you also play basketball?
Hey,
You can
Graham,
also play basketball.
you know what else you can play Jenga and bowling in? Clubhouse games.
Yeah, but those are the only things you can do in that game.
There's 50 other things you
can
can do,
play
Graham.
dots and crosses.
You can play hares and
I
hounds.
can't tell a ghost to go fuck itself.
How do you know?
I know.
Dude, you can play Riichi Mahjong. That's pretty awesome.
Graham,
Have you
you have not lived until you have have stolen all of your opponent's stones in a nice aggressive competitive game of Mancala.
Oh, but Mick, Graham has not lived. I don't know. I want to say this.
He's gone.
Graham, I have to say, not only did you move out of frame, you disappeared you faded out as you did that because you're still doing the green screen shit.
Graham, but that was perfect.
Anyway,
all right. We start with Clanky.
I'm gonna give it to Phasmophobia.
Okay. Gurm.
Phasmophobia.
Okay. Taylor.
I'm gonna give it to Clubhouse Games 51 because I know for a fact you can play Riichi Mahjong, and when you learn how to play Riichi Mahjong, you kind of have to commit to it being a part of your life.
Okay.
And I'm not prepared to let that go.
Got it. Christian.
I really do have to give it to Clubhouse Games.
And Mick's gonna break the tie.
Phasmophobia. It's better optimized.
Ooh,
Cool.
True.
Okay.
All right. The Final Fantasy VII Remake versus Project Wingman. Anything further to say about either of these?
Listen, Graham betrayed his own feelings about missiles earlier, so I vote to remove Project Wingman from the bracket.
But that
Replace it
was-
with Puss?
But that was a bit.
Nah, I don't think that was a bit. I think you secretly told the truth.
Sometimes you cannot tell where the bit ends and where the man begins.
That's how I live my life.
I'll just say further on Final Fantasy because I was gushing on Hades so much. Final Fantasy VII is like it was very important to a lot of people that this game be good. It would have been so easy to make this bad, and it's not. It's great. There are just so many great set piece moments in this, and they brought so much life into characters that were just throwaway characters before. Characters that got like a couple of lines of dialogue are fully fledged characters with realized personalities, backstories that you actually care about. And the combat is so addictive. Final Fantasy VII Remake was one of the best games I played in 2020, obviously.
Wow. Okay. If we're all good, I'm gonna throw to Clanky.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay. Graham.
Project Wingman.
Mm-hmm. Taylor.
Is it weird that every time I look at Project Wingman, I think of the Rocket Man song?
Rocket Man.
Yeah, that's the one.
Elton John. Yeah.
A missile is just a rocket with a different purpose.
Thanks, Graham. Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay. Christian.
With much love and respect to Project Wingman, I'm giving it to Final Fantasy VII Remake.
And Mick for posterity.
Oh, it doesn't matter?
No, it doesn't.
I mean, Project Wingman.
Okay.
Jordan, I have a very small request. Since this is where Project Wingman died, can you play a music track for Project Wingman called Coronation? Which was very fitting.
Of course I can.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Speaking of Graham picks in danger, Cyberpunk 2077 versus Deep Rock Galactic. Anything further to say?
You're breathtaking.
You're breathtaking.
If one more person says it to me, I'm snapping their neck.
Hey,
I know Kung Fu.
No, you don't. All right, Clanky.
Deep Rock Galactic.
Not so easy, is it? Graham.
If I had your body, I would fuck it. Cyberpunk.
Thanks, Keanu Graham. Taylor.
I shall take balloons for Cyberpunk 2077, please.
No, balloons is not a category, Mr. Reeves.
My mistake. I'll take Cyberpunk 2078 balloons. I fucked it up immediately.
It still works, though. Christian.
Deep Rock Galactic.
Okay. And Mick.
Deep Rock Galactic.
Okay. Is it 3-2 Deep Rock?
Mm-hmm.
And Keanu goes bye-bye. By the way, I just realized that
Probably what it deserves.
a Keanu-gram is just what happens when somebody knocks on the door and provides Keanu Reeves instead of candy or flowers. Keanu-gram.
Yeah,
Okay.
like a candy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's funny.
Thank you. I have my moments. Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time.
See, I can figure some of them out.
Yeah, it's okay. You're learning.
Not every owl needs to go who.
No. Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time versus Spider-Man Miles Morales. We know what's going to happen. So let's, unless anybody else has anything to say, we go to Clank.
I'm sorry, Jordan.
It's okay. It's okay. It's funny.
Crash
really funny.
4. It's about damn time.
Okay. Graham.
Spider-Man dies in a loser's bracket.
Taylor. It's okay.
Crash.
Yeah. Christian.
It's about motherfucking time. This is Crash Bandicoot 4. I am sorry.
It's okay. And Nick.
Crash Bandicoot 4. I'm not sorry.
It's okay. It's actually really funny that this always happens. This routinely happens to my losers picks. I really just keep it going for the lulz.
It's also always like the last round too.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know how that always happens.
Magic. Okay, back into regulation. Omori versus Kentucky Route Zero. Anything further to say about either?
I have a few things to say about Omori.
Of course.
I didn't get to finish everything. Because I have this category here that says small things to bring up if you have time. And I didn't have time before, but now I do. Omori has these little sections in the map with sparkles near them, where, you know, if you go near them, there's like maybe a chair with sparkles or some furniture or object with sparkles on it. And if you go near these objects and you interact with these objects, you'll start a sequence where you and your characters will do some menial task for fun. It could be having tea in a castle, running on some treadmills in a gym, or sitting on a couch admiring the moon. These exist only to be cute little detours, and I cannot appreciate the love and care put into these sections enough. They're just there for just there to be cute, and it's great. I love it. This game has side quests that characters have, and a town with permanent characters you can interact with. You can talk with these characters to do quests like delivering medication to people or doing a side job as a tutor.
You could deliver medication to people?
Look, if Papers, Please taught us anything, it's that games don't have to be about fun things to be fun.
I can give people pharmaceutical drugs?
You can start a pharmacy.
That's really good. You can start a pharmacy. These quests can lead to entirely optional areas and
like
entirely
pharmacies.
and entirely optional boss fights, which I actually missed most of in my first run through of the game. I actually missed most of these. Because, also, this game has multiple routes. But there is no true ending bullshit, and I never use the guide, so I can confirm this. Finally, the last thing I have here is this game has sprout moles. Creatures which are clearly supposed to be inspired by Mr. Saturn.
Can I be honest? I wish you had just said this game has sprout moles and then not like.
Me too.
The goat in.
I assume you guys are Mr. Saturn haters, apparently. But the sprout moles are great. They always say funny, nonsensical stuff, and like one achievement in the
great.
one of the achievements in the game involves walking into a sprout mole's house and setting all of his Christmas decorations on fire, to which he proclaims Christmas is ruined. And you get an achievement for doing that. So
I can't wait for the boss fight in Omori, where I fight the pharmacist, Edwin Reed, and he uses delayed prescription as an attack.
You're closer to an existing boss than you think you are. But I dare not spoil.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna throw in some other things. There are also fun side things that you can do in Kentucky Route Zero, but they're not very obvious, and you can just like find them. There's like places on the map that you can go, and you'll just have like these really strange interactions, like going to an abandoned mannequin factory, or going into a bait and tackle shop and just sticking your hand in various fish tanks, with unknown liquids in them. And then finally, you stick your hand into one, and suddenly you have this like flashback, and then it turns out that a neon sign fell into the fish tank and electrocuted you.
Are we good to vote?
I am ready.
Okay, we start with Graham now.
As much as I like Omori, and thank you, Kirsten, for buying it for me, something about Kentucky Route Zero has always intrigued me, so I probably will play that sooner than I play Omori.
Acceptable.
Okay. Taylor.
I spent like the whole portion of this bracket thinking of words for each letter of Omori, and all I got was "oh my ovaries." Really, it's Omori. So I guess that's what I have to go with.
This just in: Taylor has ovaries. Apparently,
is that your actual vote?
I think even though I've played Kentucky Route Zero, I feel like the fact that there was a lot of narrative disconnect from it leads me to believe that I could get a lot more out of an experience with Omori.
All right.
I will also say, like, Omori is probably more of like a game than Kentucky Route Zero is.
That doesn't bother me as much as you'd think, as long as what's on offer is interesting. Like, that's like saying a walking simulator isn't really a game, you just walk, but the Stanley Parable and Beginner's Guide are fantastic.
Yeah, fair point.
Kentucky Route Zero is a beautiful game that I think is worth experiencing for most people. It's just it's very much
it's really heady.
It's heavy, it's a little inclusive, but it's a good game. I think I could like Omori more.
Okay. Christian.
This was not projected. Omori.
Mick.
Kentucky Route Zero.
And Clanky.
Omori.
Wow.
Mick, I take no pleasure in knocking your first favorite game of all time to lose this bracket. I hope you know that it comes with a lot of respect for Kentucky Route Zero.
See, Mick, you've done a very dangerous thing. You gave a numerical value to Kentucky Route Zero, and now that's all Christian is able to think about.
Who do you think I am?
The value of how much he is hurting you is based solely on the number you assigned to this game.
I want to show.
It's like if you had said this is his fifth favorite game, Christian would be like, it's his fifth game. Bloodborne was his first, but specifically because you said it ties with Bloodborne, Christian is wrestling with the immense amount of guilt right now.
It's more of a, I show respect to your first favorite game of all time,
of course.
As is expected.
Yeah.
I thought it was his fifth.
Yeah, I did not know it was his first.
Well, now I know. Want to do a really easy one, guys?
Don't say that. I hate when you say that.
Oh, but
Nothing
fucking
ever good
imagine.
happens when you say that.
But imagine.
Hades versus Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout.
Fucking
I mean,
imagine.
I want to believe I know what's going to happen. But I'm
I
scared.
think, Taylor, I think I know what's going to happen.
I like Fall Guys.
Yeah, we all like Fall Guys, but you can like a game, and you can love a game. And, well...
Unfortunately, one of my favorite aspects about Hades is a spoiler, so I can't say it.
Whoops.
Got it. Well, it is actually your vote, unless anybody else has to break in.
I vote for Hades.
Yeah, figured. Taylor.
I vote for Hades, surprisingly enough.
Yeah. Christian?
You know, I played Fall Guys, so I'm voting for Fall Guys.
Okay. Mick?
Hades.
Yeah. And Clanky.
Fall Guys.
All right.
See, that was a 3-2. That could have. I was very prepared for Mick to say Fall Guys.
I wasn't.
Because as soon as Clanky told me, like when Clanky gave his speech for Hades at the beginning, I'm like, oh, that's kind of scary. Clanky doesn't like Hades as much as I thought he did, and that doesn't make me happy.
I think it's all right. You know, it's whatever.
Stop! You're hurting me. Ow!
It'll be fine.
Oh!
Taylor, don't make those.
Someone call Dwayne Reed. Ask them how many missiles they have.
Okay. Animal Crossing New Horizons versus Doom Eternal.
You know, I'm so glad this matchup is happening.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Released the same day.
Yeah, this was the thing. When we all got together for the 2020 Game Awards, they did this thing where they did, like, for the game of the year, they did full orchestrations of soundtracks from the game, but they would transition from each game to the next. So I remember we were listening to these transitions, and it was either Mick or Graham. It's like, I want so badly for them to transition from the Doom music to the Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Like, do-do-do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do.
Yeah.
And they didn't do it, but oh boy, it would have been funny.
Any other things to say about either of these before the vote?
I have a feeling I'm going to get fatally wounded after this one.
I don't know, Clanky, because Graham doesn't seem to like this game as much as I thought. Well, actually, I've known from the very beginning that Graham, is your disenjoyment of the platforming enough to take away your enjoyment from this game as a whole? I guess that's what we're going to find out.
No, I'm voting for Doom Eternal.
Okay.
Okay.
Taylor.
I needed to make all my thoughts clear.
Yeah.
Okay. I am also voting for Doom Eternal.
Okay. Christian.
I am going to be voting for Doom Eternal.
Ooh. Mick.
Come back to me.
Okay. Clanky.
You know what I'm picking.
And we have come back to you, Mick.
You are not the tiebreaker, by the way, Mick.
No.
I'm
It's
not.
already 3-1.
Yeah.
Doom.
Then I'll vote for Doom, I guess.
Okay, 4-1 Doom. Eternal. Battle of the Christian picks. Bugsnax versus Spelunky 2.
Can't believe this fucking happened. The fuck? Why did you vote for Spelunky 2? What the fuck? I just told you ways you could die. It's like,
Did you not hear my pitch for Dark Souls 2?
He took the words right out of my mouth.
I was like thinking while I was writing it, I was like,
Christian, clearly something with number 2 in it has power.
yeah,
That's the takeaway here.
I guess you're right.
That's what it was. Not because Dark Souls 2 is a weird fucking clusterfuck of a game that shouldn't have fucking made it as far as it did.
Well, I guess whatever happens, one of my games, I might have 2 of my games in number 5 possibly, so that's good. So who starts?
Graham, right?
Graham still.
Bugsnax.
Mm-hmm. Taylor.
Christian, Be honest with me.
Yes.
Which one of these games would I like more?
I really have no idea, actually. I mean, I know you like hard as balls roguelikes, so that's why Spelunky 2 seems good. But I know that you wouldn't mind. You know what? I think you'd like Spelunky 2 a little more.
I'm kind of leaning in the same direction. I think not so much of the hard as balls aspect. I mean, I assume it's a hard but fair challenge.
Oh yeah, it's completely fair. It's always your fault when something happens.
Okay. I mean, I didn't play the first Spelunky. I was almost going to, and then I looked at it and I'm like, I'm not sure if I would be crazy about this, but for some reason, the praise for Spelunky 2 was so overwhelming that I am tempted to give it another chance.
Yeah, it's
and
because
I give it another chance, I mean give it a chance.
Floor variety has been increased tenfold. There's like actual like distinctions between different areas just besides enemy variety. There's like actual like, you know, the music has been improved dramatically. All of the boss fights are like actual boss fights. It's a lot better.
And simultaneously, when I first saw Bugsnax and they were like from the creators of Octodad, I'm like, really? From Octodad? Oh, I'm excited. What is it? And then I saw the characters of Bugsnax. I'm like, oh.
However, I will say this about Bugsnax. I will say this every single time anyone asks, I bring it up. Bugsnax, in my opinion, is the best, probably one of the best decisions of evolutions Young Horses could have gone from Octodad to that. Bugsnax shows Young Horses finding their identity and like making something that is truly and utterly theirs, not just this fun little co-op game, but like this full game with like a style to it and a concise direction to it. And that's what I think makes Bugsnax. In my opinion, I'm going to spoil my vote. I'm going to vote for Bugsnax over Spelunky 2. So.
Okay. But you made my argument for Spelunky 2, so I'm voting for that.
All right. Mick.
Spelunky 2.
And Graham. Wait, no, not Graham. Clanky.
Bugsnax.
Wait, so what one?
Oh, and that means I'm the last vote, and I'm kind of Bug, kind of Snack, which means Bugsnax wins.
Okay. I thought you did vote, but all right.
I spoiled my vote early, but I guess you could say,
yeah, I counted as a vote for you. So.
Yeah. This is great. This is great.
All right. We go bottom up, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Kentucky Route Zero versus Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. This is a battle of the Mick picks, but it's not so simple.
Can I go first?
If you'd like, yeah.
Kentucky Route Zero.
Okay, cool. Graham.
Kentucky Route Zero.
Taylor.
Listen, Mick, I like a good RPG as much as
I
the
know,
next guy.
Yeah.
For Crash Bandicoot 4.
Christian.
Crash Bandicoot 4.
Clanky, you break the tie.
Christian, you can't.
4.
Christian, you did it to me twice!
What did I do?
You killed Kentucky Route Zero!
But I like Crash.
Fair enough.
He's funny. He's a Bandicoot, and he goes, woo!
That's such a humble, but I like Crash.
But I like Crash.
I didn't mean to.
So it seems...
Hey, Mick, Kentucky Route Zero got a 5-0, and that's a great accomplishment.
That's fair.
It seems that Christian has foiled Mick's Bandicoot, and now... now we go on to... Oh, God. Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout versus Deep Rock Galactic. Does anybody have anything else to say, or should we go on to the votes?
Can I tell you what I keep thinking about when I see Deep Rock Galactic? And this is nobody's fault. For some reason, I keep thinking of Kerbal Space Program.
That's a good game.
Yeah, but the prerequisites for Kerbal Space Program are a fucking rocket science degree.
Yes, but damn, I should add that to my honorable mentions. But every year that shows up in shit.
Like whenever I see Deep Rock Galactic, I'm like, so this is the one with the minions, right?
The minions. That's so funny. Oh,
Meanwhile, Fall Guys is the one with the minions.
Literally. Yeah. You could get the overalls outfit.
So I've stereotyped this game, and I'm sorry.
I forgot to change the voting order last round. It is now Taylor's turn to go first, I think.
You know, me not playing Fall Guys was really always a matter of I didn't want to spend $20 on it, and now it's a matter of I don't want to download it, but
Mhm.
I still really want to play it, which is weird. Like there's never been a time when I didn't look at Fall Guys and be like, yeah, I want to play that. I just haven't, but I want to believe I will. And Taylor stereotype hates space, whatever. So I'll be predictable. Fall Guys.
Of course. Christian.
Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout.
Okay. That means Mick.
Deep Rock.
Okay. Clanky.
Fall Guys.
Graham.
Fall Guys.
Deep Rock loses. Wow. Okay. This one should be simple, but I can never tell anymore. Animal Crossing New Horizons versus Final Fantasy VII Remake.
You think this one's simple?
I kind of do.
These are big ones.
Well, Final Fantasy VII Remake is sort
Let's just vote.
Yeah.
Okay. Taylor.
I don't know where this is going to go, but I'm going to hope Final Fantasy VII Remake wins. Don't know if it will.
Christian.
I really have an equal amount of interest in both of these things, so I'm just gonna go for the one that when I look at the title, it gives me more of the happy chemical, and that's gonna be Animal Crossing.
I hate that you keep using that phrase.
What?
It's true.
I know, but it's such a reductionist thing where it's like, yes, it's like, oh, this doesn't make me happy. Instead, it releases the happy chemical into my brain.
More so, I should reword it the interest chemical, which I think is a much more pertinent.
Fair
pertinent
enough.
claim.
Still, it's like that. There's that one philosopher who suggested that you shouldn't say "I have a headache." Instead, you should say this one's brain has become inflamed.
It's fine. Christian likes it more when animals cross versus when fantasies are final.
7 Remake. New Horizons.
Anyway, who's next?
Where were we? We were at.
I just
Mick,
voted.
right? Oh yeah, so Mick.
Final Fantasy VII.
Okay. Clanky.
Animal Crossing.
And it's down to Graham.
Final Fantasy VII has Tifa in it. I have to vote for it.
Did not think we'd be losing New Horizons this early.
Today we learned a lot
I
about.
thought we were gonna learn. I thought we were gonna lose it a lot sooner, to be honest with you.
Wow. Just thinking about the year, Okay. Spelunky 2 versus Phasmophobia.
I'm good.
All right.
I am as well.
Taylor.
Spelunky 2.
Okay. That means Christian.
Spelunky 2 votes it has so far.
Mick.
Spelunky the second.
Clanky.
Oh man. I'll give it to Phasmophobia.
Mm.
And Graham.
Wow, it turns out a lot of you have Phasmophobia, am I right?
Fuck you.
Voted for Phasmophobia.
Did Phasmophobia
Okay.
win?
No, Spelunky won.
Okay. That's what we voted right, because caves. So of course
We do the losers bracket ones first, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess we
Yeah.
do.
Okay. Bottom up or top down?
Bottom up.
Bottom
Okay.
up.
Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout versus Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. We now start with Christian again.
Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout.
Okay. Mick.
Crash.
Mm-hmm. Clanky.
Fall Guys.
Graham.
Well, guys.
Wow. And
What?
Taylor.
I played Fall Guys.
Well, time to crash and Bandicoot.
but please,
Well,
everybody.
you know what? It makes me feel better because having Kentucky Red Zero lose to Crash 4 is a lot better than having it lose to fucking Fall Guys.
Yes.
Yeah. That would
Everybody
be
give
rough.
Crash 4 a big handicoot. Spelunky 2 versus Final Fantasy VII Remake. Christian.
Let's see how this goes. Spelunky 2.
Okay. Mick.
Spelunky 2.
Clanky.
I get to kill the game that killed Animal Crossing. Oh, let's go. Spelunky 2.
I hear heavenly chorus
Graham.
around me right now.
Final Fantasy VII Remake has Aerith and Jesse in it. I'm
Yeah.
voting for it.
And Taylor.
There was a time when Clanky was the innocent child whose favorite innocent games would win, and someone like Mick would come in and be like, Clanky, I am gonna fucking kill the shit out of your piece of shit WarioWare DIY. And just now, we came full circle, where Clanky has become evil, and has decided,
What?
Evil.
you
What?
hurt,
Just voting for
As
the
a-
games I like
Evil.
more.
you hurt my game, so I'm gonna
Evil.
kill Final Fantasy VII.
No, I just think Clinky probably played Animal Crossing and didn't play Final Fantasy VII, I imagine.
That's also true. I don't know. Actually, to be honest, I didn't think Final Fantasy VII would make it past the first round with this crowd, so
Yeah.
I'm fine. Remake.
All right, 3-2. Yeah, 3-2. We're still doing top up, right?
Now we go back to now we go to the top.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right.
This always confuses the shit out of me.
Now it's
Um,
okay for it to die.
Omori versus Hades. Well, still starting with Christian, I think.
I will vote for Omori anyway.
Right. Mick.
I guess my villain arc has once again continued because I take great joy in saying Hades.
I was like, I respect your number one. I didn't mean to vote it out. This is my number
Thank you.
15. You're not getting anywhere.
Clanky.
Omori.
Mm-hmm. Graham.
Hades has Nyx in it. I'm voting for Hades.
Because what is
I
it?
love your rationalization.
The character Nyx. Very
Oh, Knicks. I was thinking the New York Knicks, and I'm like, what the fuck did you just say to?
No, then it wouldn't have got this far.
We're learning a lot about.
Okay, great, Jordan. I appreciate you're very much courting a very different demographic.
Yeah. Well, you know, the Knicks suck. What do you want me to say? And Taylor.
We're learning a lot about Graham today, where
Yeah.
he's making his own harem as we go.
Yeah.
What? You're
Like
seeing
every
other
single
people-
game, he's just like, well, this has a sexy woman in it, so clearly
Yeah.
I'm voting for this one.
Graham, I thought we had something.
Look.
Listen, once you've been
as
inside
said
a man's
before,
asshole, there's just always.
as me and Christian were saying before, slut era.
It's ongoing.
You're not 37 yet.
Boo, you whore.
I don't want to wait, baby.
I'm always 37, Hades.
What happened to us?
Hades. If for no other reason that I can't think of a new thing for Omori.
Okay.
Oh, Mr. Orion. Really? Ibuprofen.
Oh, man. Oh, really? Inconceivable.
Oh, ibuprofen.
Keep using that word.
I do not think it means what you think it means. Doom Eternal versus Bugsnax. Oh boy.
What a fucking lineup. Like, what the fuck?
It's
I'm
been
having
a
a-
weird one.
I'm very proud of these games.
It's been a really weird one.
What the fuck? How did
wow.
Bugsnax get up to Doom Eternal?
Well, it was a fun ride though. Christian.
Well, I've gotta vote for Bugsnax.
I think you do. Mick.
Come back to me.
Clanky.
Bugsnax.
Graham.
Bugsnax has no. I'm not doing this. Doom Eternal.
Taylor.
Bugsnax has crapple in it. It's a Bugsnax.
Yep. Bugsnax has the bunger. As much as I love the bunger, unfortunately, I played Doom Eternal.
Which is fair.
Wow.
Do
Taylor.
you guys have any idea how many missiles there are in Doom Eternal?
I feel like a lot.
A lot of missiles.
Ow.
Doom Eternal.
And we go back to Mick, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you have any questions at all,
So I've watched a full playthrough of Bugsnax.
so you know everything.
Yeah.
There is a DLC too. I didn't mention that. Free DLC for Bugsnax.
Okay.
We fight Big Snacks.
Fuck it, I'm going for Bugsnax.
Holy shit!
I was
what
so close to saying, Mick, I feel like
fuck?
you know what you want. And as soon as I said it, I thought he would vote for Bugsnax. But if I had said it, maybe he would have voted for Doom. I feel like he would like Doom more, but he voted for Bugsnax.
I gotta be honest. I don't know what possessed me to say Bugsnax.
Then change your vote. You still have time.
Is there? I already submitted it.
Oh, fuck.
You said that we have until someone votes again, so he's the last vote, so he can change it.
I mean, I guess if you want, you can change your mind. I just have to figure out how to change it. So
Listen. I honestly have no idea why I said Bugsnax, but I also, had I said Doom Eternal, I would also not be able to give you a good reason of why I said Doom Eternal.
Look, whatever. This is the least bitter.
No, I take it back. Doom Eternal.
Okay.
Can I edit the score? Let's see.
You can vote for Bugsnax, Mick. I am not bitter about this bracket at all.
Please check the following before you submit. The outcome of this match will reset the subsequent matches after it. Submit scores.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
This I feel much better about.
This is about how I expected it to go.
The minute I said Bugsnax, I had a release of the unhappy chemical.
Yeah.
There was a release of the. Hold on a minute, you just voted for Bugsnax chemical.
Yeah, I'm very glad. I'm like, are you sure that's your vote?
It's like the little paper clip. Are you sure you want to vote for Bugsnax?
I see you're voting for Bugsnax. Would you like some help?
Private browsing?
Y'all being mean to Bugsnax.
All right. Omori versus Spelunky 2.
Let's see.
Who goes
Wow. We switched the voting order. It is now Mick first.
Spelunky 2.
Okay. Clanky.
Omori.
Okay. Graham.
Omori.
Taylor.
Orangutans mate over ripe
Intestines.
ibuprofen.
It always has to end in ibuprofen.
Beautiful. And Christian.
Well, I'd like to personally thank all of you, even Mick. We got Omori to the top 4, and I couldn't be happier.
To see you die.
I couldn't be happier that my goal was achieved. Then be happier, do it.
Wow. Also, it's weird that this entire losers bracket in this round has all 3 of Christian's picks.
Yeah, well, actually, and then Fall Guys, which is a game that's Clanky's pick, but I also love this game. So,
so it's the Christian round.
This losers bracket is these are my people.
I'm the loser.
I'm the one that loses. Bugsnax versus Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. Starting with Mick.
Fall Guys.
Still won't vote for Bugsnax. Clanky.
I'll give it to Fall Guys.
Graham.
I've played Fall Guys.
Taylor.
Sometimes you just want to fall on a bunch of guys.
I know. I had that feeling a lot. And Christian.
All right, Bugsnax. That's a 4-1.
Wow.
Holy shit.
We do the loser one first before we do Hades versus Joe?
Yes, we do.
Omori versus Fall Guys.
This might still make me mad. This might still make me mad.
Wow. Okay. Christian? No, Mick.
Fall Guys.
Yeah.
I can detect malicious intent.
Clanky.
I'm giving it to Omori.
What?
Graham.
I've played Fall Guys.
And there's a hot lady in it.
Well, yeah, they're beans. And I hate Christian.
Oh, man.
I definitely detect malicious intent.
Taylor, I think. Yeah.
Opium makes oranges.
Taylor, it has jump scares in it.
Ibuprofen.
You know what else? Jump scares in it? Stranger Things. You watched the whole thing, so I don't want to hear it.
It's true. Yeah, it's not a good argument anymore.
Fair enough.
And then I am going to vote for Omori to give it the third place, to give it the fucking bronze medal.
Wait.
Let's go.
Taylor, the only I word you could think of was ibuprofen?
He's doing it for the bit. He's doing it for the bit, Clanky.
I mean, you know, I could think of another thing, but it does make me feel better that I have ibuprofen as that safety.
Yeah, ibuprofen also does make you feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Hades versus Doom Eternal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so pleased that these got as far as they did.
I mean, these could have been the final two, honestly.
Well, we still don't know. They still could be.
They still could be, yeah, and they probably will be, honestly. Mick.
Hades.
Clanky.
Doom Eternal.
Graham.
Hades nuts.
Taylor.
In the name of Hades.
And Christian.
I had said to multiple people during the discussion of this bracket that I thought that Hades was
hasn't
going
happened
to win.
yet. Don't say it. Don't jinx it.
I still think it's going to happen. Give Hades my vote. It's a 4-1 against Doom Eternal. Remember, Omori versus Hades already happened.
Wow. Doom Eternal versus Omori.
I don't care. Now it can die.
Okay. The order shifts. It's now Clanky starting.
Omori.
Okay. Graham.
Oh man. Oh really?
It's Doom Eternal.
It's Doom Eternal.
You didn't say the ibuprofen at the end, so I should have known that you were leading me on.
Yeah.
Well, no, Graham's more clever than I am.
Taylor.
This is true.
If you don't say the ibuprofen at the end, then it doesn't count.
My favorite level in Doom Eternal is the one where you go to a pharmacy and you buy Bandicoots. Doom Eternal.
Christian.
Oh, Maury. Ben, before I vote, I would like to once again thank all of you for getting Omori as far as you got it.
Yes.
Graham, Taylor, and Clanky. I eagerly await you playing Omori because I care about this game like a lot.
It is going to be a while. But
I will await. And when you all do end up playing it, let me know because I didn't even get to talk about the characters or the plot at all, and how this game made me ugly cry like a baby. So, like,
can I just say, here's the worst thing about the Yearlies, right? Is it causes me to develop like genuine hatred for games that I have nothing against, but because they arbitrarily beat something I love in a stupid fucking bracket, I now despise certain games for no reason.
Well,
nuns and their panties.
If it makes you feel any better, Mick.
Stop caring.
If it makes you feel any better, Mick, I don't think you were going to get a lot out of Omori anyway, so...
That's probably true.
This is not... I mean... Listen, your favorite RPG is Kentucky Route Zero.
Yeah. I'm going to give
my favorite RPG is Bloodborne.
Yeah. But is it tied with Kentucky Route Zero?
Is it your favorite, or is it tied?
I mean, they're two different... that's right, I forgot, you're still doing the RPG joke. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
No, but you said that they're tied at number 1. So
yeah, but I said I said Bloodborne is my favorite RPG.
Anyway,
I vote for Omori.
Okay. And Mick.
Doom Eternal.
Yeah, figured. So we're back to this again. Doom Eternal versus Hades is the final two.
Who's ready for another 4-1?
Yeah. I mean,
this will be
do 5 to make it a 5-1. Make it fun.
Oh, you want me to vote?
No, did I say Jordan? I meant Christian.
Yeah. No, wait. How do we do a 5-1 if?
Well,
Jordan doesn't vote.
0. It's been a long day. My brain's fried.
Vote if you want, because I know what I'd be voting for.
Look, Christian, it's very simple. Do you understand the concept of mitosis?
I'm not going to justify that with a response. Let's do
Christian,
Hades versus
do you know what the
Doom
I
Eternal.
in mitosis stands for?
Ibuprofen, clearly.
Yes.
If I've learned anything from tonight, but look, I think I'm going to be very happy with what is about to transpire here. And if the one
Consume
person
ibuprofen
And if
at
the-
your local Duane Reade.
and if the one person who voted for Doom Eternal, which I do not remember, wants to vote for Hades and give the first 5-0 victory, let them.
I do not.
Okay, just making sure.
No.
Just wanted to check.
Just a quick question, Clanky. It's not disdain towards Hades, but passion for Doom, right?
Sure. If that
All right,
makes you sleep well at night, then yes.
Clanky, sometimes
Wait, Clanky, do you genuinely not like Hades?
I just, my problem,
Didn't you
Hades is
honorable mention
oozing
it?
with personality, and I can't deny that, like I said, but I just don't care about the gameplay. I don't find it fun to play, and that's my issue with Hades. I got up to Meg, and I couldn't beat her, and I was like, all right, well, I've had enough of this game, and I
Honestly,
never played it again.
I have to be honest, Clanky, that's kind of been my worry about Hades, is
Okay,
that
no,
I feel
no.
like I love everything except for the gameplay.
And that's my issue with Hades.
Hang on. Just much love and respect. That's not playing a lot of the game. You have to, it's...
You just gotta get through the first 20 hours, and then you're there.
No,
Okay, but if you don't like how the game feels...
I'm being facetious. I'm being sarcastic.
But the thing about the game is that the longer you play, the more styles you are able to discover to find a comfort level. There are so many varying degrees of comfort that it is very easy, if you give it a fair shake, to find a good chance. Meanwhile, Meg is the first boss, so it's fine. Look, let's vote. It's okay.
I did play the game for a while. I just didn't get very far.
Yeah. That's totally understandable.
And Mick, you like Bastion, okay? You like Bastion, and you like the gameplay of Bastion. You like all of that's on offer on that game, right? There's no but there.
There might be a little bit of a. It's not that I don't like. It's not that I don't like the gameplay of Bastion. It's just that it's like the gameplay is fine, but it's not like I.
Okay, Hades, but okay, but if the gameplay of Bastion
Taylor, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it probably doesn't matter.
We're just having a conversation.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I totally get both of yours.
Was going to win about 5 minutes ago, and we still had the conversation.
I totally get both of your sights on this, and I'm excited to see where we vote. So,
like, if we're grandstanding over the one for
let's just do this.
Yeah, Clanky goes first.
I'm voting for Doom Eternal.
And that's okay.
Of course it is. Yeah.
Doom Eternal is one of the best games of 2020. Of course it is.
Yes. Graham.
Hades.
Okay. Taylor.
Hades.
Christian.
Hades. Giving it the win.
Mick.
Yeah, I'm not. Hades.
Okay.
Can I be
4-1
honest?
victory.
What I was going to say. No, I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
Yeah, because it already won. It's not like you're going to save anything.
No, because I thought I wanted to say something really stupid that I think was going to accidentally change everyone's vote to Doom Eternal.
Yeah. So I'm glad you didn't say it.
Well, it's too late now. The tournament literally ended, so you wouldn't be able to change it even if you wanted to.
Yeah. But before Christian stops the recording...
I would like to do the ending this time, actually.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, everyone, for watching the Yearlies. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment down below if you have any ideas of any Yearlies you want us to do. We'll be continuing through the years like this, but if you have any ideas yourselves, we'd love to take them up. I hope you had a blast, and stay tuned for more Yearlies content. Goodbye.
And remember, if your pharmacy continues to delay your medication, that's not okay. Change pharmacies.
That means some kid in an RPG video game is probably delivering your medication. You need to fucking.
Also, Jake, fuck you.
Also, make sure that medication includes some ibuprofen.
Jake, I'm coming for you next.
Graham, you're gonna get us fucking
goofs, and you're threatening to kill someone.
You're gonna get Jake's dad.
I already know your address and IP address.
Graham is gonna fuck all the pharmacists. Good night, everybody.
Bye.